What is going on, everybody, man? Welcome to Arsenal versus Man City. I tell you, it's been a stressful day, guys. It has not been as comfortable as I would want it to be. I couldn't focus and concentrate on work. I just couldn't do it, man. And after I finished work, I don't normally chill and sleep and lay down and stuff like that. But I found a couple of people. I spoke to Nay as well, and I just said, I can't do it. The nerves in my stomach, I can't do it. So I just lie down in bed from 6 till 7. Just laid down in bed, man, just like really stressed out. And yeah, I'm not doing really well at the moment, guys. I'm stressed. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm stressed out. Gary, how you getting on, bro? You look nice and relaxed, Gary.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. To be honest, uh, for the Liverpool game, I had mad nerves, mad nerves. Today, I'm calm as anything. I'm
Wow.
calm. You know, I've seen the team. I can't say that I'm totally happy with the selection that he's gone for. Um, see what happens.
Yeah,
You know.
so let's see if we can find that team sheet up on here. Let's have a look at this team sheet. So yeah, nothing really new, guys. It's probably the team that we'd expected. Ramsdale in goal, White holding Gabriel Zinchenko, Partey Xhaka's back in the middle with him, and then there's Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. So we still have not started Trossard, the guy that was on a burn for us. And quite frankly, guys, we've not won since we dropped him. Since Jesus has come back and they decided to play that rotational game, we haven't won a game without Trossard starting. And look, call it what you will or how you will, but for me, you're missing something without Trossard on there. He's got 10 goals, 9 assists this season. I know some of those goals are with Brighton, but it still counts for this season. And he just gives you way too much. Now, does that mean that he's got to come in at the 8? Well, not necessarily. They're back with Xhaka at the moment. Xhaka's had a quiet month, as I would say. He hasn't been at the top of his game, but then we can say that about a lot of other players. I think obviously Ramsdale's made the mistakes. He's let in 7 goals in the last 3 games. Ben White has been underperforming as well. Gabriel's been average. Zinchenko hasn't been his best. Partey the last 2 games has been awful. Odegaard's played well. Saka's been okay. Martinez's been okay. Jesus, apart from missing all those chances, he's been okay. What's your thoughts on the team sheet, Gary? Anything for you to add there?
Yeah, I would have liked to see Tierney start. I think in a game where we're going to need defensive solidity, I just don't think Zinchenko gives us that. And
Yeah.
he's stuck with this inverted fullback role and Zinchenko in the team. And I'm quite bewildered, to be honest, that Tierney's not starting. I can't believe Trossard can't get in the team for this game either. I agree with you there. We seem to have lost a little bit since he's been left out of the team. He was doing really well. 7 assists, I think he had, didn't he, and 1 goal for us
Well,
in
it
in a
was
few
8
games.
assists. It was 8 assists in his last 8 games for Arsenal.
Yeah, there you go. So it speaks for itself, doesn't it? And bringing him on with 25 minutes to go, 10 minutes to get into the game. You're giving the geezer 15 minutes. I just don't understand it.
Yeah,
I just hope that Arteta doesn't go down the Wenger route where you're so blinded by trying to achieve something that it ends up costing you. Because that's what happened with Wenger in a certain way, weren't it? He was so blinded going down this road, and sometimes you have to adapt to the people that you're playing against, And I'm quite shocked really with this team sheet. I thought there would be Tierney would be there, and I thought Trossard would be there. Maybe at the thing of Zinchenko for Tierney. I don't think that's a great loss because I think we're going to need more defensive solidity than going forward. And unfortunately, Zinchenko just doesn't give us that.
yeah. We're starting to get a lot of people that are coming in. Let's say hello to the chat room. What's going on, Lee? Lee's saying, evening, me and old gunners. Well, let's do this, please. And we have, I'm not sure who that is. Can you sign the waiver at the top so that we can see who you are? It says, dudes, I'm stressed. I usually watch all of our games, but I don't know against Man City. I don't like watching because I don't know the outcome. Even I have hopes. Stress, bro. Listen, we're living the stress right now, bro. I'm feeling it, man. Seriously. I've actually, Gary, what's your prediction for today? What is your actual prediction?
I think
I've gone 3-1 Man City.
Yeah, I think I predicted. Did I predict 3-1 Man City when we was talking about the last 10 games? I think I can't see us beating. I just can't see us winning here today. I think maybe that's why I'm not nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Like for Liverpool game, I was mad nervous, and I think we've kind of thrown it away a little bit with recent performances, and maybe that's why I'm quite calm. I just think City have got too much, and I just think the team, you know, maybe you want to set up kind of like maybe like Spurs do and play on the counter attack, but I just don't think that's.
And we do play a little different away from home. We do add a little dimension to the way we play at home. It is different.
Holding against Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to need a lot of help from Partey and Ben White. And Saka's going to have to do a lot of tracking back to cover Ben White if he's going across to help Holding.
Yeah, you're giving me kittens now, man. You're giving me kittens.
Well, it's there, isn't it? I mean, with Saliba there, you know that Saliba Haaland, it's a kind of maybe 55-45 battle in Haaland's favour. Haaland's the beast, isn't he? But with Holding there, as you know, I ain't got nothing against Rob Holding, but he's not a Saliba. And you got to favour Haaland 80-20, really. I hope. Listen, saying that, I hope Holding as a blinder, and when he gets back in the changing room, he takes Haaland out of his pocket. But you just can't see it, can you?
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of permutations. You know, Saka's going to have to do an awful lot of work with Odegaard, getting back to cover the right flank, because you're going to think that Haaland's going to play on Holding. Unless they send Gabriel across and switch, you know, wherever Haaland goes, Gabriel goes. Maybe that's an option.
That's the thing. Tactically, you wonder what they're gonna do, because they both kind of play a hybrid of each other's system. It's not exactly the same, but there are a lot of similarities between the two. And I've always said Arteta knows how to break it. And quite frankly, I was surprised with the result at the Emirates. I thought Arsenal should have won that game. They should have done way better than what they did. What's going on, Vincey? They should have done way better than what they did. And I was really disappointed with the result at the Emirates, because last season we actually outplayed them in both games and lost.
But I think that happens a lot, though, Apollo, doesn't it? That happens a lot. I mean, Arsenal have had this. Well, Arsenal have had this against the so-called bigger teams when we outplay them all the time and have all the early opportunities, all the early running, and we don't take them, and then they go back down the other end. It goes 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, and game done.
I can't say that about Liverpool and Man City, but I can say that I know what you mean, and I can say that about quite a few teams, like, you know, the Man Uniteds, and when we've gone up to Spurs. This was before this season, but I think last season was the first time where we actually did outplay Man City at home and away. And there was the mistakes from Xhaka and Gabriel, you know, red cards there, penalties, things like that. The way we just folded and capitulated. Last season, it was a Tavares one at Liverpool. But those mistakes have been cut out this season because we're just so much better on the ball now. But I think we've just buckled. Mistakes from Gabriel, mistakes from the goalkeeper, just unconventional things that we don't normally see. And so what I would like to see today is for us to get back to where we was last year when we played them, where we would completely play off the park. Now, it's not just Theo Walcott, but Declan Rice also said, we've played Man City, we've played Arsenal, and actually Arsenal are the better team. So even our opposing players have been saying that. From a system standpoint, from the way that we play, I think for Man City, look, we know they don't have the legs that we do. We know they don't press as hard as they used to. But what they do is capitalize on us, which is what Liverpool used to do. They'll sit back, wait for Arsenal to lose the ball in possession, then jump on them, counter-attack and score. That's how we've been losing to teams like these over the years. And those mistakes have cut down. That's why we've been more competitive.
But you see that, so that's what City have got, that option of playing in different ways. They either come at you, they can sit back, they can counter attack. Arsenal just seem to have the one way, which is something that we have to change. We have to get a plan B and a plan C to go along with if plan A is not working. And we just don't, we've never had that. I can't remember the last time we had a plan B.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there. And again, one can say that, you know, this, I don't want to use the inexperience, but I will use the infancy. You know, what Arteta's built here is still, you know, people think, yeah, this is the last chance Arsenal are ever going to have a win the league. I disagree. The youngest team in the league, joint with Southampton, 22 years and 4 months average age. They're at the beginning of the journey. This isn't Leicester. Leicester was an anomaly because those guys were 28, 29. They were in their prime. As soon as they won, the players like, you know, Kante, Drinkwater, Mahrez, all them guys were sold off. They literally sold half of the team. So there's no way that they could have maintained that balance. This Arsenal team, this is just the beginning of their journey. This is just a peak of what they're capable of doing. And so I don't agree with the concept that this is our last chance and we won't get a better chance than this. I don't agree with that at all. And what I will say, here we are right now is new for Arteta. It's new. They've never been in this position before. And I think mentally they're buckling. I really do. But let's say hello to Vinci. Vinci, how you doing, bro? And what's your thoughts on the team sheet? Did you see the team sheet? It's nothing really new, to be honest. I'll bring it up again if I can. Yeah, Vinci, let me know your thoughts on the team sheet.
That is what it is. I mean, it's good to see Xhaka back. It kind of speaks for itself. So yeah, no surprises there. If he's recovered back from his ill health, then fair play. My thoughts, I don't know. I've been listening to you, and it's like loads of things have been going through my mind as to where Arsenal are at this point. I think it's a great opportunity for us to actually win a league title. I think we're going to have more in years to come. But I just think if you look at it from this position of us as fans and also this young team, which we've been talking about for so long, you can't deny it's a great opportunity. I think you've got to keep it real when you look and you think, the way we've approached this season based on last season has given us the opportunity to be where we are. To beat City today, and it's back in our hands. That's a great opportunity. That's something that, you know what, if you were to given this opportunity at the start of the season, you know what, you've got less than 10 games to go, and if you beat City, you've got a real chance of winning the league. We all will snap. We all will take it. So I think it's not to throw away the situation where, yes, we're the youngest team. Yes, we don't have the squad depth of Man City. But where we are right now in a 90-minute game, it's a great opportunity. And the way we played this season, yes, we don't have all the players that we had at the start of this season. But if we can draw on how we played this season and also how we played Man City in the past season. Remember, Saliba was not there last season when we played Man City, and we were in a great opportunity to beat them due to foolishness. So this is the point I've been saying for many, many years. It's not, because we're Arsenal, we deserve to win, or we should win every game because we're Arsenal fans. Put a performance in. I mean, seriously, put a performance in that justifies why we are at the top of the season, top of the league. Put a performance in that has rejuvenated the fans to where we are right now to expect us to be in a position to actually win a league. Put a performance in that actually reflects what opposing players are turning around and says that Arsenal are the better team. Because in essence, this may have been the first year that we've actually put it together, but we are playing good football that is challenging a Man City team with their heritage. And that's why this is the one game. Forget about the Spurs game. Arsenal Spurs every season, I look forward to it because, you know, I rely on our history. It's 3 points. This game shows to me how far we are as a team, as a squad, going up against one of the best teams in the league, the champions. And we've had them rattled in the past. I want Arsenal to be clinical today. You know, I don't want Arsenal to lose their heads. Losing their heads in the 90 minutes is nonsense to me. I don't tolerate it, whether it's against the top team or against the bottom team. I want Arsenal to put in a performance that I know that they can do it. And the reason why I say they can do it is because they didn't have Saliba last season. They didn't have him. We went to City and we terrorized them. So the point is, it's 90 minutes, guys. We're not talking about a season tonight. It's 90 minutes. Put a performance in.
Yeah.
And the result will speak for itself. And that's all I want. That's all I want.
So let me just put up a sheet here to show you guys why Arsenal have got into this position. So we can talk about tactics and what he's been able to do to make the change. So Arteta has been very effective, guys. If I can blow this up, you can see this is what the reason is for why we are where we are now. Our base formation is 4-3-3, as everyone knows. But when we attack, we only have the 2 centre backs back and the 2 wings back move forward and create a 2-3-5 formation. It's been fantastic for Arsenal because this is how you suffocate teams in, and then you pin them back in. The third person in the midfield obviously is Zinchenko, and then we have that inverted left back going in, creating that 3-man midfield, and then everybody joins the attack, and that's how we're able to do it. And the in-game tweaks from Arteta have caused late winners and responses to some fantastic games, Bournemouth, Man United, to name a few, where we've come back from the jaws of death and come in to win the games. The power box of the midfield as well, and the arrivals of Zinchenko and Saliba. It doesn't really say Jesus because the team was 5 points clear when Jesus was gone, and then 3 months later, they were still 5 points clear when he came back. So his impact on the team, Martinelli is filled in at striker. Big shout out to Eddie Nketiah. He filled in for over 2.5 months. It's quite a long time, lengthy time that he filled in. And so it really wasn't really down to Jesus. Jesus is quality. He's got the ability to dribble into the box. And when he comes in, he does give us something different. He gives us what Martinelli gives us, what Saka gives us. Then you've got 3 guys who've got the ability to just dribble in the box and come in and take the game to defenses. And that's really been the key, guys, of where Arsenal have turned this season around. Guys, let's see what your predictions are in the chat. Andrew is saying Arsenal will win this game. Shout out to you, Andrew. Andrew, what's the score? What score you give me? I've gone for a 3-1 Man City win. That's what I've gone for. Said squad accumulates to different approaches and formation. And Andrew says Arsenal cannot achieve this by outbidding Man City. Smarter acquisitions is required. Agreed. Cam says City lineup looks full of creative players plus Haaland. Pep will try to control the midfield, so I'm not surprised. G says Saka should have a much better game without Aki holding him off. Can someone remind me why this game was rescheduled in the first place? This game wasn't rescheduled, bro. The original Emirates game was the one that was scheduled. This is actually when this is supposed to be. All of the teams are playing midweek. So there's nothing wrong with the schedule in this game. Cam says, feel sick, but but also what a feeling to be in a title race at the business end of the season again. Need someone to step up and do a Will Tord tonight. Agreed. Kurt, what's going on with you? Good to see you, man. Kurt says, evening panel. Whatever the result this evening, I'm proud of my team has performed this season. Back in the team, like your wife, far better, far worse. Yep. And Andrew's gone for 2-1 Arsenal. Gary, what was your score again? Your predictive score?
3-1 to City, weren't it?
The same as mine. Yeah.
I think.
And what about you, Vincey?
I don't know. I think on the prediction, I went for in the last 10 games, I think I went for an Arsenal win. Was it 3-2 or something? I don't know. I'm trying to find it on the Facebook forum to see what. I don't know if you put it in, but I think I went for an Arsenal win.
Okay. Fraser has gone for an Arsenal win as well. There's no score prediction from him, but he's saying Arsenal will win. Guys, my BT Sports app on my phone is just cutting out all the time.
It's on BT Sports.
Yeah, it's on BT Sports.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
Even better.
My thing here is just stressing me out, guys. So we've had a look at the team sheet. Xhaka has recovered from an illness, which saw him miss the Southampton game. He replaces Fabio Vieira. Holding partners, Gabriel at the back. Ben White stays at right back. I don't think you've got much you can do there. You've got rid of Cedric Soares.
5 minutes.
Gabriel Jesus starts with Trossard on the bench. Interesting that Pep Guardiola was asked about Laporte to play the role of Nathan Ake. And it looks like he's trying to do something different there. So Akanji also starts for Man City. As I just said, Laporte is benched, and that was the real major issue. I believe Ake had a hamstring injury or something, and he might not recover. Mahrez is dropped following the FA Cup hat-trick, and Kyle Walker keeps his place. Good thing Mahrez is dropped, guys.
Second half when it comes on, that's where, if they need to open up the game, that's where you're going to see him come on. So it's a 90-minute job, man. They've got a squad. Whether he starts or not, they've got a squad.
I'll be back for kickoff. I've just got to quickly do something on my phone.
No problem, bro. No problem.
All right, see you in a bit.
Yeah, go on, Vincey.
Yeah, so it's... Man, the guy's got he's got two squads to choose from that can always cause us problems. But I look and as I say, well, do you know what? Just stand tall, man. Stand tall. This is pressure. Listen, this game is pressure, yeah? But this is why you start the season with the amount of players that you have, yeah? You start the season with the quality of players that we've had, because every game is going to be pressure. And how we've performed has got us into this position why the pressure is even more. So I'm not moving away as to, they've got a two teams that they... Listen, stand tall, man. Stand tall. Stand tall tonight. And the rewards at the end of it are going to be huge.
So Andrew says, I sent Haaland some... lasagna from 2006. I'm so dead. Cam says, I have no hope, really, but please God, if you're listening, I will be forever a good person if you help us today. It says, I hope we sit deep and hit them on the counter. It's been proven time and time again that that's the most effective way to play City. And then he also says, he's talking to Vincey now, says Trossard has been playing better than Jesus lately, and Arteta has no bonus for him. I think the difficult thing there is that for me is the only thing that I would say that Arteta's probably got wrong. He was maybe our most informed player. As I said, 8 assists in his last 8 starts for Arsenal, and he's not rewarded for that in any way. And I think that for me, not just that, but you could see when he came on against Southampton, hit the crossbar, he just gives you so much. Then it's from the creative standpoint. It's not sort of what you do with the ball. It's how you read the game and how you see things develop on the field. And Trossard has the vision. He just knows where guys are making their runs, where to place the ball. He's just so good at that. He's a smart footballer, and we're loaded with them. We have Odegaard, we have Zinchenko, and Trossard just gives you another intelligent head on the field, and we need that. He's 28 years old. He is in his prime, unlike a lot of the players that we have, and he just knows what to do with the ball. He's smart in possession. He makes good runs. He's two-footed. We're missing Trossard on the field, and I get that.
Can I ask a question? I know this talk about Trossard is intriguing because he is producing, but are we not seeing in effect, even with Jesus, Arsenal playing with a false nine?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, definitely,
yeah. And it's interchangeable. It's refreshing that we can say, actually, you know what? If Jesus isn't producing or Martinelli's not producing, you can go out on the left and Trossard can come on, or Trossard can come on. It's so interchangeable, that front three, that this is the first time. No, I don't think I've been on the stream or heard us actually talking about. We actually have a false nine formation that is working.
I mean, if you look at the season before compared to this season, you know, I talked to you guys about the five-pronged attack. And that is obviously where the wing backs come up to help support. Now, last season, we had Gabriel and Ben White as the two centre backs holding back. The three guys in the middle building up the attack was Tomiyasu, Partey, and Xhaka. We struggled there. And then the five guys in attack was Saka on the right, Odegaard, Lacazette in the middle, Smith Rowe and Tierney on the left. That's how we worked the system last season. Obviously, it's better now because we have the likes of Zinchenko really picking up that slack. Martinelli is more consistent in the team now. And then obviously the strikers, if you take Lacazette out, then Jesus and Nketiah have been way better in terms of being more productive. So I think those are the main differences why the five-pronged attack is working now. It would be good to see. I was just about to say my phone's gone off again.
I'm just doing the group hug.
Why is my phone going off like this, man?
I just hope we don't concede an early goal, man. We've got to score first.
Yeah, we've got kickoff on my app. Where are you guys?
I'm at kickoff.
Yeah.
Kickoff now.
Good. So you're only 10 seconds behind. That's good. Right. Okay. So you can't hear my phone, can you?
No.
Can you hear?
No.
All right. That's good. Right, because I don't like to turn it up too loud. So guys, we have kickoff. We're off. We are up and running, and the game is underway. So let me know what you guys think. Here we go, guys. The wait is over. Arsenal get things started at the Etihad.
I thought that should have been a free kick.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice like this. I remember the last time we were in a position when we beat United in Milford, and I kind of held traffic on the green light because I just jumped out of my car and was running around the street. People tooting, I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? I just came back from a photography course and listening to it on the radio. It was just, I just love that feeling. You know, when you're young, you're just mental. You just, it could be one of these ones, mate. Sorry, neighbours, but I might have to just run out on the street later on.
Kurt saying, getting vexed. My BT Sport apps keeps pausing as restart. Yeah, thank you, bro. My app has restarted. It restarts every 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know why it's doing it. It's never done that before. I put it down to the fact that
whole world is
so it's a quick shot. It wasn't a lot of power on the shot, but Ramsdale dealt with it early. Quick shot. 1 minute and 45 seconds gone. G says 1 minute gone, and we haven't let in a goal only at the Emirates. Yeah, that's some dumb foolery at the Emirates, man. That's some dumb foolery at the Emirates there, man. Man City in possession, though, guys. Outside. And by the way, Gakpo's just equalised. Liverpool 1. West Ham 1. What are you doing, Ramsdale? He's given the... Oh, God. So the cross comes in from the left. Ramsdale tries to come and collect it. He does get a finger on it to push it wide. It falls into the path of Man City, but it looks like they've given a foul on Partey.
On Haaland.
Yeah, Ramsdale gets fingertips to it. Oh no, Partey just put his foot down and Haaland caught his foot a little. So Partey's just a little bit shaken up from there. So City wanted a penalty. City was trying to say that Partey had fouled Haaland and a penalty appeal was denied.
It could be, you know what? You know, when I was playing football, stuff like that, penalties will be given, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Fiona says, hit that like button, people. 50 of you watching the stream at the moment now.
What's going on,
Big
Fiona?
up to everybody, man. Big up to all you gooners. Hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, man. Guys, proper.
Oh, I just see that. Do you know what? You've seen penalties given for that. You know that?
Yeah, as I said,
You've seen penalties given for that.
Ramsdale's under massive pressure now as he plays the ball out. City are really putting the pressure on Arsenal at the moment. I'm seeing some nerves in Ramsdale. I'm definitely seeing some nerves in Ramsdale. He's not exactly setting the pace for confidence. Andrew saying De Bruyne kicked Partey's foot.
I think that's 6 and 2 threes, isn't it? It depends how you see it.
Yeah. I should get a banner up.
I don't even think Partey touched the ball.
I'm gonna put a banner up here. Let's just put a banner up here to keep everybody happy.
I got my food beside me and I can't even eat it.
Bro, you're good, man. I got butterflies in my stomach, so there's no way that I could even think about eating food at this point in time.
Come on, Martinelli. Come on.
There's no way that I could think about doing this, man. Food at a time like this, bro.
Wife looking after me, man. So I just thought, you know what?
Wednesday's my Pilates night, so I'm normally getting treatment tonight. But I thought
offside.
What about this morning? I can't do it. Do it, man. I can't be away knowing this is going on and I'm not involved.
Your body would have been too tense, man.
Yeah, I know. Arsenal's still playing with
bend, Apollo, bend.
You know that.
Yeah.
Upon the stomach, he's just cringing, mate. Two jokes.
And again, guys, Arsenal just playing possessional football at the back, just trying to settle things down a little bit. Who nearly gives the ball away there?
I'm on 5 minutes and 11 seconds.
I'm on 5 minutes 25.
You're 30 seconds ahead of me, guys.
Excellent. Yes, so the wait is so Gakpo's equalised. Liverpool 1, West Ham 1.
It's 2-1. I can't believe my fantasy, man. I sit down there. I had the Man City. I had all the Arsenal players in because Man City had the FA Cup week, and then I forgot about the game. And
oh no! Oh my God!
What's up, Gary?
You're just going to see in a sec.
Are you ahead of me?
I'm ahead of everyone, yes.
Oh, don't.
Oh, here comes City on the break. It's 2 against 1. And De Bruyne with a goal. Yeah, De Bruyne with a goal. That was way too easy. Yeah. Wow. Title is evaporating from us, guys. The title is evaporating from us.
It's just too easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go here, be solid. Go here, be solid. Sit in, 4-4. You know what I mean? Keep the guys busy up front. Just don't give nothing away.
It was on the it was on the left-hand side defensively, so it's Gabriel's side. So let's have a look and see what happens here. The ball, Arsenal pressing. Man City actually beating the press with a long 50-yard pass up to the halfway line. And De Bruyne's got 3 red shirts around him. It's just quality. It's just a world-class goal. That's all it is.
Partey let him run past him.
Which is why I said it's a world-class goal.
Ramsdale's got to do better there, though. Ramsdale's got to do better there. has to do better. Sorry.
Yeah, Partey let him run past him, and the ball was in
Sorry,
the air.
guys.
But
Sorry.
Zinchenko, left back. He's running into the area where a left back should be.
Good goal.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I disagree with both of you. I think that's just a world-class goal
Good goal.
from
Good
a
finish.
world-class player. Yeah.
Good finish.
The placement of the ball, the pace of the ball, the way he had 3 red shirts around him. That was all Kevin De Bruyne.
Look, Zinchenko. Look where Zinchenko is. Look, Zinchenko is nowhere to be seen.
Well, that's because Zinchenko is up in the midfield.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. This is what I said from the start. Why are we playing with this? Go there, be solid. You're not being solid if your left back is playing centre midfield, and in an area where De Bruyne's run into, the left back would have come across and been there.
No, Gary. Because remember when I said that they were impressed. They were impressed, so that Arsenal just won the ball back against City in the midfield, and my phone's gone off again.
Apollo, to be honest, yeah, that guy put the ball out to Haaland. He was no more than 5 yards from the touchline. Yeah, 5 yards, and we conceded a goal from there. Yeah.
Yeah. What's supposed to happen when you're impressed and you've got Man City playing the ball out the back? If a long 50-yard ball goes into the midfield, you'd expect to win it. That in those situations, you're the one that is pressing the team. So when they play that ball out of desperation, you're supposed to contain that ball in the midfield. We don't win it. De Bruyne gets the ball, and then that's when we're in problems. But even then, he's got 3 red shirts around him, and none of them makes a tackle.
Couldn't even get near him.
Yeah, we couldn't get near him. City now in press.
There you go, target man.
Zinchenko tries to play the ball, and then he hits it against a Man City player. You can see here, Haaland on Holding just wrapping Haaland up. Rather than it's the only way you can defend him. Yeah, that was just quality. That's sheer quality. Fiona says, let's keep the faith. We need 2 goals, guys. That's all we need. We need 2 goals. Andrew says Holding is struggling to contain Haaland. Yeah, I mean, nobody in the world can do that. So I'm guessing, yeah, he would struggle.
But here's a question, yeah? Why is Haaland marking? Why is Holding marking Haaland?
Because Holding's the right-footed centre back, not the left. And Haaland's
faded
to the left.
He will never have the strength to deal with Haaland.
I agree, but Gabriel's a left-footed centre back. Holding's the right. That gap responsibility is where they are. It's City coming at Arsenal again. De Bruyne slips it through to Haaland, but this time the tackle's made. I believe it's Gabriel. Guys, forgive me if I get the names wrong. My screen, I'm watching this from my 7-inch phone, so it's sometimes it's not clear to see the players. Brighton's 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Andrew said the same thing I did. Gary, it was a brilliant shot. Ramsdale could. I agree. I don't think Ramsdale could have done anything about it. He's just placed it with the pace of the ball, accurate in the corner. There's not much
arm
you can
stretch
do about that.
Full length.
Yeah. Arsenal. Xhaka's down and Arsenal get a free kick. Right, let me get a drink, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Ben White, you got roasted, man. You get some frost with that.
I don't want to be retrospective, but would you have played it? Imagine if we had a sweeper system as an alternative.
I just think that in this game, we got no need for Zinchenko in this game. We need defensive solidity. And Tierney, like, I know Apollo saying that we was impressed, but Zinchenko wasn't pressing anybody. He was on the halfway line. When the ball breaks, he didn't even react. He didn't react. He had no way of getting back in position.
Yeah.
Once that ball was played, he should have seen, right, he ain't coming over here. I'm going to drop back. He hasn't got that defensive mindedness in his game.
Yeah. And that's why I kind of questioned us getting him playing left back. But I understand about the injuries with Tierney. But to his credit, he's made a huge impact on midfield this season. But right now, he's not on the top of his game.
Well, right now, he's not what we don't need him to be an impact in midfield. We need him to be a left back.
Yeah.
That's what we need in this particular moment in time. We don't need him being inverted and helping the midfield.
Yeah.
You know, go with 4 at the back, straight back 4. Everyone stays in their positions. You get forward, but always leave 3 at the back.
Mm.
You know, this is a game that we want to win. You're not going to win the game by giving them all the space in the world to play in.
Minimize the space.
Exactly.
Mm.
This is
Right
what
now,
I mean. It's like Arteta, he's only got this one way of playing. There's no change.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is what's costed us. You know, it's the same personnel week in, week out. You know, Trossard can't even get on the bench. Emile Smith-Rowe, I don't know what's happened there. You know, he went with Vieira the other day, which was quite a shocking decision. You know, then he comes out and says, oh, well, Vieira's struggling because he hasn't had the minutes. Well, why hasn't he had the minutes? You're the manager. Why hasn't he had the minutes?
You know,
giving him 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes here.
It's got to the point where all this spin talk, I've got no time for it. I just haven't got no time for it because you could dice it so many different ways. At the end of the day, as you say, if you're not giving a man minutes, you can't use it as an excuse because
Exactly. You know, and he said the same about Eddie last year, didn't he? You know, but he was the one that wasn't playing him.
Yeah.
You know, we stuck with Lacazette, didn't we? And he couldn't hit a cow's butt with a banjo. And it's, you know, I know he's only sort of in his tender infancy as a manager, but
where's the midfield?
You got to make decisions when you have to make decisions.
Do you know what? I'm on record already. I hate this formation. I know this formation is something where has got us in this position, but I really do. I mean, hate it.
Look at City now. They've got 3 at the back, strung across the back. Yeah, 3 marking 1. The rest of them are just The rest of them are just pressing, but City have got 3 at the back.
I don't like this. I've always said 3 at the back is the way forward. I don't like this formation.
That's where we played our best football.
Yeah, I know. We played the best football with this formation. Still don't like it. Because it's against these games where we struggle. But it's only 15 minutes gone. It's only 1-0 down.
Yeah. Here comes City again. And it's well defended by Partey. It's great defending there. Thomas Partey just being a monster there. Guys, I'm on 15 minutes and 50 seconds. Where are you at?
15:40. I don't know why you're ahead of me, man. I don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on. I'm a bit upset. And you're on, and you're on stream. You know what I mean?
No.
What kind of foolishness is that?
And the thing
You're
is, yeah, I've reloaded it up about 5 times already. It's so bad. I'm going to complain to BT Sports about this.
Well, I'm stopping it and I'm going to restart it because I better be ahead of you now. Let me see. I'm mains, man. You can't be ahead of me and you're in the cloud. 16:25.
Look out, I'm 16:30. That's good.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll live with that.
You can live with for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I can live with 5 seconds. Man.
Here comes City on the right-hand side now, guys.
My
City now are just
Cable's doing his job.
City now.
I don't know what's happened to Ben. Ben White seems to have fallen off a cliff, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew said, not watching on phone, on television. Hey, man's got the BT Sports hook up on the TV, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Boy.
Me too.
Yeah, boy.
The only thing is that you can't. Andrew can turn it up loud. I've got it on one.
One, you know.
One, you know.
Not two, but one.
Just one.
So 17 minutes and 35 seconds gone, guys. Arsenal have not looked threatening at all. Like, they haven't even... No shots, no nothing. Arsenal have had 68% of the possession. They've had more of the possession. City's had 32% of the possession.
When was that? When you had 68% possession? Sure, you're watching the right game.
Yeah,
that possession's been in our defence. Trying to get the ball out, want to get across the halfway line.
Hold on, let me see if we can get Gary in there. Let's have a look. What's the scores on the doors?
Don't
Gary,
get off me.
Your dog's name is?
Dog.
Lily.
Hey, Gary, in Jamaica, that's what we name our dogs. We call them Dog.
Dog.
They don't have names, you know. They're just called Dog. They don't wear fluffy boots and nice coats and all that shit. They just
none of that fancy food as well. They eat what we eat.
Yeah. They don't need coats in Jamaica.
Yeah, there's no such thing as dog food in Jamaica. You just get us some yam and dumpling and some ackee and saltfish. Hey, Gary, here it is. Arsenal 68% possession.
Can you get off me, dog?
Man City 32% possession. Yeah. The thing is, we haven't looked threatening at all. Our XG is 0.00. And my phone's just gone off again. This is I've not had this has never happened to me with a BT app, you know. This has never happened to me with a BT app.
City making us look like fools, man.
Yeah, it's too easy for them. 19 minutes and 40 seconds I am.
Oh, well, just a heads up. I've got a Newcastle friend who, if you want, you normally do your previews.
Yeah,
so if
Friday.
So if you want him to come on.
Yeah, that would be great because I've had a few from Newcastle, but they have other YouTube channels as well, so it's very difficult to get them to come on when they're doing content. And so anytime, man. Yeah,
he hasn't got a channel, but if he's available on Friday, I'll let him know tonight.
Mm. Yeah, tell him to inbox me on Messenger.
Okay.
Fiona says, my first cat was called CJ, same as mine. Well, not my first one, but my last one. Oh, cat.
Yeah.
And he had hot pepper sauce on his food and drunk the rum as well. That's a proper cat, man.
Roast his belly.
That's a proper cat. That's a
cat eating jerk. Like it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my phone went off again.
Such a stupid foul by Rob Holding there.
We're just not at the races, guys.
Okay, family, would you take a draw tonight?
No. You can't win the title with a draw.
If you draw, then
saved by Ramsdale. Bernardo Silva comes in on the inside. He starts on the left. He's got Zinchenko all over him. Gabriel's in front of him, making himself look big. He scuffs the shot a little. It's a little scuffed, but Ramsdale makes a save anyhow. Yeah. So for me here, where Arsenal are losing this in the midfield, they're just getting depossessed. You got to put it down to Pep's tactics.
Zinchenko just threw the ball to nobody.
Yeah. Xhaka gets brought down here, so it looks like it's a foul. Rodri looks like he goes high to Xhaka's head.
Yeah.
As long as Arsenal keep just calm down, guys, get a goal in the first half, go in at 1-1, and then try and win it in the second. Chelsea losing to Brentford 1-0.
Yeah, I had that down as 3-1, Brentford. On my Super 6.
I think my internet's tripped out. The bugs are in the house tonight.
Hey, pure bugs, you know. When I turned on my Xbox, there goes BT.
Gabriel does it again. What is wrong with you, man? Every time you play Man City, just keep your head in the game.
This is unbelievable.
I mean, how hard is it?
I don't know why this is. I don't know why this is happening. Right, here comes the cross in. And my BT Sports has gone out again. I'm getting fed up with this.
Here comes the cross in, and my BT Sports is gone.
I'm getting fed up. It's never ever done that, Gary. It's never done this before. I don't know whether it's my new phone. I've even gone onto the Play Store and there's not an update. Sometimes it's because you've not updated the app.
Gabriel just barged into Haaland and Haaland's thrown himself to the floor. Embarrassing, mate. Big 6'4" dude built like brick. You know what? And you throw yourself to the floor like that.
Yeah, but Gary, you know what? That's got the ref now watching them to it. You know what's happened to Gabriel the last two times we played? He's got sent off before. You can't be doing that foolishness. There's no need.
Yeah,
but each up Gabriel. And then, to fall down like that, that's embarrassing, man. That's embarrassing. What kind of a head is that?
Right. My phone's going crazy, man. My phone's going crazy. G says, Fiona, feels like I'm getting a root canal watching this game. Here comes Arsenal now with the first attack. Martinelli on the left-hand side.
I didn't even realize Martinelli was playing.
Me neither. And this is a great ball by Zinchenko. Gives it to Jesus. Jesus gives it straight away to a Man City defender.
Man City, look, 10 behind the ball. Look.
Having to watch it by other means. Yeah. So, yeah, it's Kurt saying it's the app. The app is the problem. So I'm going to try and move to...
Go with my old faithful. I'm not sure if I can say it. I don't want to...
Yeah, you can say it, but we just can't... we just can't put any links here or anything like that.
Yeah, you're live media, man. Live media all the way.
Yeah, I've never been able to do that. I don't even do that one. And everybody says live media. When you download the app don't do nothing.
No, that's for me, man. Tablet. I've got it on my spy phone, so you know what I mean? It still works.
Right, so...
On the old spy phone.
Oh, no. Oh, no, De Bruyne. Oh, great challenge.
Huge block from Ben White there. Massive block from Ben White. How's that one for you, Gary?
Long ball City. Long ball City.
About time he done something. He's come back off the edge of that cliff.
Wow.
Boy, BT Sport don't even want to turn on now. This is trash. And you know what? I'm not even bothered.
I reckon the app recognizes you as a non-user, Apollo.
I've just changed my... This is the first time I've used this since I upgraded my phone. But Kurt's having the same problems. So it's definitely not the phone.
You guys on those Satan devices? Those apples?
No, I don't do Apple, man. I don't do... Apple's for them kids in the playgrounds. I don't do Apple.
Well, then speaking spell phones.
Yeah.
Speaking spell. Yeah, that's a great block by Ben White.
This is frustrating. This thing.
You know what?
Saka now attack on the right hand side. Here comes Saka. He's going in. He cuts it inside, but he gets depossessed. Saka never normally gets depossessed like that.
Right now.
Yeah, they are. They're dominating. But Arsenal win it back and give it away again. I think that's Odegaard. Odegaard gave the ball away. This is the problem. You can't give the ball away to City like that. Haaland now coming in, bearing down on Arsenal. Oh, it's Haaland. It's saved by Ramsdale. What a save. Could have been 2-0 here. Could have been 2-0. Ramsdale pulls off the save. Neomis, what's going on, bro? Neomis says, evening, gents. I'm here in Vancouver, stressing, eating at a pub lunch, watching Arsenal right now. I hope you're doing well, bro. It's proper stress, man. It's proper stress, bro. It's proper stress. I tell you, BT is not earning its money today with this app, man. They're not winning they're not winning this fight today, man. Here we go. Pro Lover says schoolboy mistakes. I didn't see any mistakes in the goal. I just saw a brilliant footballer just own us. That's what I saw. I didn't really see any mistakes there. We were in the right formation. If there was one mistake, as I said previously before, it would be that City plays the ball out of the back by hoofing it. They get rid of it, goes 50 yards. You got to win that in the midfield, and we didn't. It falls right into the lap of De Bruyne. It's 3 against 1. And, yeah.
All right there with you, Andrew. Right there
City
with you, bro.
dominating. We only scored 1. Yeah.
Listen, the game could be done, man. That block by Ben White and saved by Ramsdale.
Yeah.
No, Arsenal haven't had a shot yet in almost half hour.
Long ball City and the game could have been over.
Yeah, and we should have we really had to deal with that. I'm tearing my head out. I'm tearing my head out now. Why is this happening?
I always find it funny with teams. If you go here, you either got to do one thing or the other. Doing in between never seems to work. You're either going to press or you're going to sit. At the moment, Arsenal seem to be a little bit in between. They don't want to press, but they don't want to sit. One goes. What's the point of one going? It makes no sense.
Apollo, can you not use the BT app on the browser?
Sorry, Vincey, what was that?
Yeah, can you not use the BT app on the browser?
No. Right, let's go to my NFL page now and see if they're gonna do something. Oh wow.
My man's gone all the way to Georgia to watch Arsenal.
Oh, this is not working, is it?
Are you that, Apollo?
Yeah, this isn't working. I think this is probably because of the browser now. So I've got 7 browsers on my desktop. I've got Chrome, I've got Blaze, I've got Vivaldi, I've got Firefox, I've got Torch, I've got Komodo, I've got Opera, and I've got Edge. It's amazing how your internet experience changes when you change your browsers. Oh, it's a shot there. Shot from Haaland. Very, very instinctive. But Ramsdale denies again. That's the 3rd save that Ramsdale's made today. Ramsdale denies Haaland. So we saw a great block by Ben White. Another save by Ramsdale. It's just all Man City. Arsenal have not even looked close to registering a shot. Prolover says, I think Odegaard just passes the ball directly to 2 sitters. Yeah, and we've been doing that. It's not just him. Partey's giving the ball away. Zinchenko's giving it away. Xhaka's giving it away. We are not even connecting in the final third. This is a very un-Arsenal performance. And this is why I asked for the performance last year. Last year we outplayed City and lost in both games. We're not outplaying City tonight. We're not.
I think I need Arteta to manifest an own goal to come on for Pep to bring an own goal on and us to get back in the game, because boy, it looks
right, guys. I'm gonna send you my stream in the private chat. I've just sent you my stream in the private chat.
In the game that's so important, to go and perform like this is shocking.
Hey guys, you want to hear the joke? My BT stream says 32 minutes and it's just gone again. All right, okay.
That would have been a great goal by Haaland if he scored it.
Yeah.
Just danced through two defenders.
Right, I'm leaving the BT now. I'm done with that. I'm focusing on this one here.
Bootystream.com.
Yeah, no, this one is the old Reddit one that I'm using. Have you lot got the link? I've sent it to you.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
It's actually the same time as my phone in terms of the minutes. 33 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, you're about 2 seconds behind me.
Yeah, listen, man, and you know what? They can't do me because I've actually got the legal stream down here on my phone, so they can't do me. In order for them to do you have to not have access to the original form. Access to original format, then do you? And some of you probably didn't know that any illegal TV shows, movies, things like that, if you have the original format, they can't do you for it.
Fair play, good shot. Good shot.
Right, so Arsenal's got the ball now. Zinchenko.
Send it.
Yep, here we go. Shoot. Come on, guys. Saka's on the right. Let's do it now, guys. Partey goes wide. He scored 2 goals like that this season. The best one against Spurs. Probably the same position, but a bit closer. No, actually, it's from the same spot. It's from the same spot. Fiona says people are complaining on Twitter about paying for the game, but still unable to view it. Yeah. Sports.
You're going to see me twice. I've got to swap phones. This other phone's done.
Yeah, I've gone to Black on Blonde's website now, man.
I'm going to some bottom website.
Yeah. I'm on Black on Blonde's website, man. Hey, I gotta get that ad blocker out as well. Here comes Man City. It's free against free. It's free against free.
Oh my gosh!
And Haaland misses. It goes close, but Haaland misses.
Guys, we're getting cut. Scythe.
Yeah, the Gremlins are killing us tonight, man. Gary's flunked out. Vincey flunked out.
I'm back.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
I need my other phone for something. I'm waiting for something to happen, and I need that phone.
I tell you what. Ravaged. Ravaged.
Yeah. It's
you know what? In one sense, yeah, okay. If we lose the league, we lose the league, yeah. But I think we've seriously got to look at how this team is playing against Man City and the upgrades that we need in the squad for next season. And if we don't seriously get that based on the amount of games, I know we're ahead of the curve where we are right now, but this is showing that this is glaring to me, showing how basic our squad is this season. It really is basic because we can't have variables in a game like this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Arteta and Edu have to look at in the summer. yeah, we're going to have more games in the Champions League, and yes, we've got to provide more games for our fringe players. But I'm looking and thinking, okay, El Nene's going to be given a contract.
Oh, they're going to play next season. Be sure about
that. Jacques is still going to be playing. So when you're looking and thinking, okay, how can we improve on this squad next season? You know, if we're talking about Rice coming in, is it really those type of players that we need, or is it another centre back that's going to be in the rotation? Is Holding going to be here next season?
Well, I hope so, because we need him for the depth. We need him for the depth. I mean, and Kivior, to be honest with you, we paid 20 million for that guy, and what's happened? What has happened? And this is where I've complained about it, because in games, take for instance, right, when we lost to Man City, we won 2 games after that 4-1.
Yeah.
Why didn't you pay Kivior in those games?
But this is the thing: it's you purchase. If you go out and get a player, there must be a reason why you're going to get that player. And then when you have the opportunity, as you say, you've got to play the player. So we were singing and dancing about Jorginho with his experience.
I mean, like, no.
Great tackle, Benoit.
Where's Jorginho been? Where's Jorginho? Jorginho
exactly.
hasn't even played in the last 4 games.
And this is the point I'm trying to say about when you're upgrading the team, is how you're upgrading it, not just saying it's experience. Because when you need experience and you're not using it, it makes no sense you buying that player.
I think we can all agree that Arteta has been very, very lax in his squad rotation. I know the team was winning, but you still have to keep it fresh. You know, Guardiola very rarely keeps the same 11 week in, week out. You know, Jorginho, could you have done a double pivot today, you know, to keep it solid? Could you play Tierney? Could you have played Trossard against Southampton? Why would you bring in Vieira? The Kiwior couple of times he's played hasn't really made sense. You know, so there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah,
so I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, is there any way that we could have got away with having 3 centre backs and Zinchenko not being on the pitch? Goal. Oh, great save.
Yeah, great save there by Ramsdale again. He denies Haaland. Haaland could have had a hat-trick. It could be 4-0 City at this point. But Ramsdale's keeping Arsenal honest. Seriously, guys, Haaland could have easily had a hat-trick today.
Because if you look at Man City, their fullbacks are playing in midfield. So this is what I'm saying, is having 3 at the back gives you an extra man in midfield that can play. So, you know, you're asking the likes of Saka and Martinelli to come a little bit deeper with the ball, but that team can progress up the pitch more together. Right now, we've got 4 at the back, and they're pinned at the back.
It's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
You know, we've had nothing in transition. It's been shocking.
Yeah, we've been completely.
We're just lucky that we're not 4 or 5-0 down.
That save with his feet, Ramsdale. My word, my word.
Neomis says you can. It says you can say Arteta squad rotation is horrible, but what it is probably that he just doesn't trust what he has in depth. That's really what it comes down to. Here comes Arsenal, though, guys. Remember, it's still 1-0. Here's a cross, and it's defended really well. It's a corner to Arsenal. G says, remember when people thought that we would score 3? Barely scored 1 against this lot for a decade, but yet we will score 3 against them at their best variation of this team. Yeah, there is that.
So Apollo, when When you say Arteta doesn't, I don't understand when you say Arteta doesn't trust what he has in depth. I know you've said it before, and Niomis has just said it. I don't understand that he doesn't trust them when he's gone out and got these players. I don't understand. Why does he not trust?
So there's a
these
level for
players
that.
with experience and ability.
Yeah, there is a level for that, but then there's a level for Smith Rowe, Nelson, and Ketia. A couple of guys that he's had hanging around where he's underplayed them. And before Jesus before Jesus' injury, Nketiah was getting 4, 5, 6 minutes a game.
So why does he trust? So why does he trust Smith Rowe? Why does he trust Nelson to come on in the 85th minute when we need goals?
Because by that time he's lost all hope. It's like you're throwing. By that time you don't care, innit? You're
yeah, but you can't.
You're gambling. You're not managing. You're gambling. There's a difference between managing a team and then gambling and say, well, just throw everything, just throw the whole kitchen at it.
But does this not lead to the argument that Ken has on the forum when he talks about Arteta and his management? Because you can't really do that. You can't develop a team when you're just giving these guys 5 minutes.
Yes and no. Yes, because what you and Kenny are saying is correct. But no, because Arteta, just like this team, is still finding their way. The 2.5 years this team's been built. 2.5 years these guys have been in charge. That's his experience. That's his total management experience. And look what he's doing. He's going toe-to-toe in the league with probably the best team in the world.
So then does that so then it goes back to my argument is saying, okay, so when you go out and you buy experience, you can't leave the experience on the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't have it. Arteta can't have it both ways and still, okay, just go on for the last 5 minutes and
I
see
think
what
for
you can
every
get.
I think for every question we have, Arteta probably has a valid answer. And the answer for Trossard would be Martinelli's got 15 goals this season leading the team. So do you see where I'm coming from? For everything that we've talked about, so can you drop Martinelli on the right? He doesn't want to because he's the team's top scorer. Can you drop Jesus in the middle? No, because he's missed far too much football and he gives you so much in terms of dribbling into the box. Can you drop Saka on the right? No, because he's your star boy. Double goals and assists. Probably England international's best player. Can you drop Odegaard?
You can drop though. All three of those players you mentioned, you can drop if they're not performing. And if you in games where you can rest them, you can rest them. So it's not a carte blanche where actually, you know what, Trossard, great goal. Oh, he's offside.
Yeah, he's offside. That's John Stones.
Yeah, you can't. What I don't like is players having opportunities or not having opportunities and their career being wasted, or they're just sitting on the bench just because the manager's refusing to.
Yeah, I agree.
To accommodate them.
That's my only issue. But on one side of it, we're punching above our weight, and any Arsenal fan that says otherwise is just doesn't understand anything about football. But the frustration and expectations comes from us. Let's see what VAR. Yeah, VAR is saying it's off anyway.
He's offside. His fingernails offside.
So at the end of the day, it's really the frustration is you were 8 points clear. That was who not even Liverpool found themselves in that situation.
Yeah,
it's good enough for me.
That will nyam my belly until the season starts.
And I think that's where the frustration is that we had it and we lost it. Oh shit! It's onside. Goals given. It's onside. Oh wow. Oh shoot, man. You're a minute before half time.
It's the foot of Ben White, isn't it?
Yeah.
God damn it! You just, yeah, guys. Title's over, man.
I tell you what, it's tough for us, but you know what? John Stones has had a revelation this season. You know, he's fair play to him, but boy, what to concede so close to half time.
Yeah. Yeah. Niama says, I don't think Arteta is looking to develop players. I think he just wants to win. His main 11 does that most of the time. It's good for some, but not for others. Yeah. What's going to stretch that, Niama, is next season when you're playing Champions League football. That's when the problems are going to start. Because you've got so many good players. You've got so many good players. And building, you can't lose Nelson, that you've got at the moment. What's going on now? Is this a fight that's breaking out? Yeah, is this a fight that's breaking out? Something's going on here.
Yeah, it's a fight because there's a poor challenge. Edison just needs to just relax himself, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what Edison's getting involved for. It's clearly a foul on Ben White.
Yeah. So again, guys, Arsenal inexperience showing their losing their rag. We saw it at Liverpool. We've seen it in previous games. We saw it at Leeds, where Arsenal just lose their rag, and that is a type of thing that you'd expect from a team that averages 22 years and 4 months. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Jam says Arsenal have been punching above their weight all season, and now it has caught up with them. Boys against men. Yeah. Neome says title's done. I believe so. I believe it's over now. Yeah. I believe it's over. Fiona says it's kicking off the pitch. Yeah. Kurt says, funny how they remember how to draw the VAR lines now. Yeah. Yeah. That brings to the end the first half. Wow. All right, so let's change the banner. So, yeah, this is going to be a tough one. And look, Arsenal fans are going to come out of their droves and say, we bottled it. Yeah, I mean, maybe we choked, but at the end of the day, we choked because of the inexperience in the team. The mental side, I said last week, we've mentally cracked. We've cracked. And previously, before that, because we were young, we were fearless, we were liberated, we were playing carefree football, and most of the pressure was on Man City. But when Arsenal realized, hold on, there's 8 games to go, and we're 8 points playing. So I think that's when the pressure started to get to them, and they cracked. That's what's happened.
So okay, I know more experienced managers have been in situations, and you know what, they've got the guys to just focus on one game at a time. I don't know. Yes, Arteta's young. You know, we keep banning this young. At some stage, I look at those. I look at those games that we threw away good positions in game, and I can't say we bottled it in those situations. I just feel we were just very unprofessional in games when you're 2-0 up, managing the game, and you throw it away. You can't do that whether you're going for the title or just trying to get into the Champions League positions. After last season, those games are the ones that's going to cost us. Not tonight. It's those foolishness in those games. That Liverpool game.
I'm not even so sure about Liverpool, Vinci, to be honest. West Ham and Southampton, those were the games where this title's gone.
But Liverpool as well, you're 2-0 up away. Come on.
Yeah, but Liverpool's Liverpool, isn't it? At Anfield is a different story.
Yeah, but you're 2-0 up. You know, we're not 0-0. If it was 0-0...
Xhaka got the crowd involved when he got involved with Alexander-Arnold. And we never recovered from that moment. We give away a sloppy goal moments after that. And then it was all Liverpool. We just sat back and we defended for our lives. We stopped playing. Against West Ham, 2-0 up and cruising.
Arteta did the same thing last season. He riled up the crowd. This is what I'm talking about. We've got history here.
Yeah.
Last season, we did the same thing. This season, you're in a position. You're at the top of the league. You don't do that foolishness. This is an experienced player, Xhaka. You just don't do it. And it's
exactly.
If it was 0-0, you can understand and say, okay, all right. But 2-0 up away at Anfield, it's like you've got your Christmas presents early in August, and you're sitting there skinning the tea, and then you break it. You know, that's just foolishness.
Yeah. Andrew says to throw the word bottling at this squad is poor form. It is, but what I'm saying is, like, when you have a seasoned team that is used to winning, then you can say, yeah, you know, you chopped it in. But this team's at the beginning of their journey. They should be applauded for this season, quite frankly. Arsenal should be applauded for what they've achieved this season because they've been amazing. They've been remarkable. They've been magical. And winning the league would have really topped off something that the league has never seen before. Alan Hansen said it well. Remember, guys? You'll never win
Don't
with
win
kids.
nothing with kids.
Yeah. And now over the last few weeks, you can see why. Mistakes just being made by young players, young goalkeepers, 23 years old as well. Mistakes being made by him. Saka misses the penalty at West Ham when you really should have just put it through the middle. He's 21 or he's just turned 22 now. Yeah, I mean, it's not you can't jump on them and say you messed up because that's kind of to be expected with the lack of experience that these guys have. And some of you may say, yeah, but they played solidly for 2 years. 2 years doesn't make you an experienced player. You look on the other side of the aisle against a team who've won 4 titles out of the last 5 years. That's what you call experience. Because when you come into situations that Vinci was talking about, you know what to do. We've come into situations where we've just lost our heads and we don't know what to do in those situations. So how do you call that experience?
But you know what?
I disagree with that, Apollo, because we did lose our heads. Because
that same situation, that's those experiences you learned from last season. That's why we started the way we did this season, because we bottled top 4 last year. If you want to use the bottled, we bottled top 4 last year. This season we started, so to do what we're doing now, based on how we started the season, is inexcusable because in those games you're in good positions. But I was just going to go back and say, when that Saka penalty miss against Liverpool, I don't think it was a bad penalty because it was a great strike. He just went past the post. So
I mean, against West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah, the West Ham one, yeah. West Ham. So he just went past the post. It was a great strike. Yeah, I wouldn't go down the middle because if you're used to go down either side, which he is, you've got to hit it with confidence, and he just slightly misjudged it.
Gary, say what you're saying before I read all of this stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, saying about we stopped doing what we were doing, but we just, against West Ham, when we're 2-0 up, we didn't stop playing the way we was playing because we went 2-0 up against West Ham and Liverpool. So I think that point is wrong. What we did was just give the ball away in stupid positions, and that's not down to inexperience. That's just down to bad play. That's just down to West Ham 2-0 up. Partey has no need to try and flick the ball over Rice's head when he's got other options. If he doesn't flick the ball over Rice's head, it doesn't get intercepted.
Yeah,
they don't go through the penalties, never conceding. We're still cruising in the game. Against Liverpool, 2-0 up, Xhaka gets involved. riles up the crowd. Liverpool go down the other end and score. You know, it was only Southampton where we really.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Southampton, to start that type of game where you knew after the previous two, you know what? Let's start the game strong, and that to happen, you just think, what is it? You weren't even
That's
under
what I'm saying.
pressure.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's the inexperience and the just losing your rag. Like, we lost the mentality, and it wasn't just Southampton. It happened at Bournemouth as well. These mistakes aren't something that we're just seeing as one-offs. It's a continual pattern that we've been seeing, and that's what tells you that they've lost their rag. So you call it what you want, bottle it, cracked, choked, call it whatever you want. But yes, they've lost it. They have lost it, and there's nothing to be ashamed about by saying that. But I'm saying it's for a reason. Some people don't want to. Some people don't care about the fact that they're the youngest team, 22 years and 4 months, tied with Southampton. Some people don't care about that. Some people don't care about that. But you know what? Everybody do you.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the fact of the matter is yes, they have let themselves down. They have let themselves down. But it's nothing to cry about as a fan, because considering the age and the inexperience of the team and the manager, guys, it's not just the team, it's the manager as well. You get yourself into a situation like this and you have no idea what to do when you're in there. And not just that, I think we're also forgetting that you're going up against the team that knows how to do it all. You go out there and get the best striker in the world, and the guy scored 50 goals. How you don't win this? How you don't win the league? how do you not win the league when you go out there and you buy the best striker in the league and he's killing everybody? He's ripping defenses left, right, and center in the league, in the Champions League, everywhere. How do you not win the league? So, guys, I think some of you need to put perspective on the situation. But at the same time, you're right. They've cracked. They've cracked. And I won't even argue it. I won't dispute it. They've cracked. But what I'm also saying is give them the respect that they deserve for putting in a fantastic season. Yeah, what Arsenal have done this season is remarkable, guys. And this is just the beginning of their journey. Let's see what these guys are saying here. Cam says it's over. Every time we play a big match, Xhaka looks so out of depth when he gets pressed. Totally sore thumb. 18 says, people slag off Fabio Vieira, but Xhaka doesn't even touch the ball. Jam says, world-class mode versus semi-class mode. Kirk says, Arsenal have bottled nothing. That term is just only nonsense fans of other teams came up. Yeah, I mean, but the inexperience of the team has cost them to lose this title when we were so close. Terry says, young boys getting slapped, unfortunately. And that's the frustrating thing, because we outplayed them twice last year when we lost. And so for me, guys, at the end of the day, my frustration tonight isn't the result. It's the performance. Like, where's the performance gone?
Yeah, totally agree. In such a massive game, and you go and perform for 45 minutes like that.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
If I'm Arteta and I've got these guys in at half time, I'm thinking, guys, what on earth are you doing? You're not even turned up. You're not even playing. You're not even playing. You're doing all the basics wrong. And all that tells me is what I said from 2 weeks ago. Their heads have gone. They've lost it. The pressure just got to them. They're cracked.
So, Apollo, if you're saying that, yeah, and Arteta's seeing that, and again, we're talking about, and a lot of fans have, for the past few weeks, have been talking about Trossard being on top of the bench. And the manager can see that some of those players who he's trusted and so forth, with all the goals they've scored, are not performing. Why would you not make that change? Just
Okay, so I'll answer that one, Vincey. So Arteta. So let me draw a line to you. Some teams in the Championship, when they get promoted to the Premier League, they'll go out and they'll do a Nottingham Forest. They're like, we're in the Premier League now. We need Premier League ready players. We're going to get rid of our squad and buy a whole heap of new. So the players that got you there, you don't even care about them anymore. They're gone. Bye. See you later. Thanks for all the help. Let's get in these big dollar boys. Let's get the big boys in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now switch back to Arteta. Those kids, those inexperienced players that he's taken as a pup and he's had his arm around. He's dying by the sword. He's dying with those guys on the battlefield, Vincey. That's what he's doing.
So why did you buy Trossard?
So, but that doesn't make it right, though, does it? That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm
why
not
did you?
defending him because I think it's wrong. I think he shouldn't be doing it, but he's doing it because he is not going to drop Martinelli. He's not going to drop Saka. He's not going to drop Odegaard. He's not going to drop the players that he brought in from Man City to win a title. What you're seeing now, that's it.
So then we don't. So then we didn't need. He didn't need to buy Trossard if you got Nelson. No. But if you're saying that, if he's going to prepare to, if you're going to die by the sword, you got Nelson sitting on the bench. You can't even get a game. Yeah. So you don't, in essence, need to go out and buy Trossard because you've got another young pup who you could play. You could play Nelson. If that's the narrative.
But the idea was to bring Mudryk in as an inexperienced player because remember, Mudryk had only played 26 professional games.
Yeah, but you can't have it both ways.
You can't
have it both ways, though, can
he? But that's what makes your question a variable question in terms of why did you buy Trossard? Well, we bought Trossard because we're going to be in the Champions League next year and we're going to need a much bigger squad. So
you're saying, so are you saying then that he would have given Mudryk more chances to play?
No, he wouldn't.
Than Trossard.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have. He would have given him about the same chances. But remember, Martinelli is the core player there, and to an extent, Arteta, which is why I said to you about half an hour ago, if you questioned each and every one of those decisions, he would have an answer to justify it. So you'd be like, well, why aren't you playing this? Because Martinelli's having his best season and he's the team's leading goal scorer. Okay. So why haven't you dropped Xhaka at the 8 for Smith Rowe? Because Xhaka's having his best. He's got 8 goals, never scored more than 3 goals before in this season. And he's doubled that. Best season if he's like, okay. So for every question we have, Arteta has an answer.
But you purchased Jorginho for your experience and his experiences on the bench.
Yeah, that's right.
And in midfield.
You're not wrong, Vincey. That's what I'm saying. Vincey, I'm saying you're not wrong, but I'm saying that Arteta is dying by the sword with the players who have got him into the position in the first place. And that is fundamentally wrong. Because what you should be doing, especially we've seen Saka not have a few games. When he missed the penalty against West Ham, his head dropped. That's when you should have put Nelson on. You got nothing from Saka for the rest of that game. And it was a waste. A good, seasoned, experienced manager would have taken him off. But what you've got is you've got the team and Arteta growing at the same levels. So we're having growing pains with the players and their inexperience and losing their rag. And you're having this with Arteta as well. And unfortunately, that's the package. That's the package. That's how it comes. It'll get better as time goes on, but that's where we are. And I'm okay with that because you know what? You live and die by it. But as time goes on, you will improve in that respect. Has the second half started back now?
Yeah, just started.
Started. Oh, okay, here we go. Neoma says, completely agree. Neoma says, don't think we bottled it. We're just up against one of the best teams ever. Thank you. That is it in a nutshell, Neomis. That is it in a nutshell. I mean, Neomis, you want to hear the joke? This Man City have won 13 games in a row in all competitions. We're not talking about unbeaten. We're talking about they have won those games. No team's beaten them. You name it. Bayern Munich, you can throw all the names that you want at it. No team's beaten them. They've won 13 games in a row. That's a fact. They are the best team in Europe. Probably the best team in the world. Because that's what they're built for. They've had 7 years to build this thing, this empire. And the youngest team in the league, yeah, we're giving them a run for their money. That's all it boils down to. Terry, it says teams, not the finished article, but there are more twists and turns this season. Agree with Apollo. We just need to be patient. Yeah. Let's get rid of this banner. Gary, you're quiet in your thoughts.
I'm just completely despondent with the performance that we put in that first half. I just can't believe it. You know, a game of this importance. That's why I said at the beginning we needed to go with defensive solidity, and we just didn't do that. We've been wide open. You know, City are attacking at will. You know, you could have gone with a double pivot and played Jorginho and Partey, and it just really, I'm just disappointed, to be honest.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting us to win. I wasn't expecting us to win here tonight. You know, but I was expecting us to go there and put on a performance.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing.
You know, make it hard for them.
I went for 3-1 City, but I thought we were going to come in and fight. I can't understand what we've been doing. There's not been any fight. Our possessional play has been so poor. And the thing is, we've got nothing to lose. What have we got to lose?
You might as well go and get spanked 5-6-0. Doesn't make a difference.
Well, here comes Saka on the right. I'm not even watching it up to date with you guys because I'm on this
shot from Xhaka, saved.
Yeah.
First shot, 47 minutes.
Yeah, that's the first shot on target. Yeah, and that's the first thing Xhaka's done in 47 minutes. I don't even think he's hardly touched the ball before that.
Well played, Odegaard. Brilliant.
Wow. Right, guys, hold on. I'll be back in a second.
Liverpool 2-1 up. So I had this at 2-1 to finish against West Ham. So, Gary, what changes would you reckon you would make second half?
I think there's much you can actually do now, but you'd have to try and get Trossard on, and you'd have to get Jorginho on, I think. But I think you'd have to go, or would you switch to 3 at the back?
Would it be?
You could actually go 3 at the back now, could you? Holding Ben White and Gabriel, Zinchenko, and you'd have to replace Xhaka, wouldn't you, to get the other wing back?
Well,
I don't know. It's difficult now. I mean,
It's for me either one, Xhaka or Zinchenko, because they both have their deficiencies in defense, both of them. So it's and I kind of trust Xhaka more than I trust Zinchenko in defense. You know, if you're going to keep the shape as it is, you know, it may be harsh, but you know, you can. There's an argument to say you can even take off Jesus and bring on Trossard, because what have you got from Jesus tonight?
What have you got from any of them up front? Martinelli hasn't been in the game. He hasn't tracked back. You know,
It's the first time.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's
First time
just.
Zinchenko's got up there, and you see what I'm saying. So this is the point. Soft.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, the only reason that we're all so disappointed because we was in such a magnificent position, you know, and to sort of like die as we have by just plain stupidness, really, you know, cruising at Liverpool, cruising at West Ham, created our own downfall against Southampton. You know, that's why we're all feeling so disappointed. And Zinchenko there, look, he's never going to outmuscle Kyle Walker.
Wow. Oh, Zinchenko not in there. Just get the ball out. Oh my word!
I think the worrying thing for me, and I mean, right, the squad may not be what you want to call complete, but he just doesn't just put the right personnel in at the right time. I think that's a worrying thing.
Yeah, I mean, this argument of
Ramsdale save again from Haaland. Haaland could have had 4 tonight.
Yeah, De Bruyne is going to score now. Yep, he scores. Knew it. Called it. Said he's going to score.
Terrible ball by Jesus, though. Terrible.
You're going to see some foolishness coming up. And, you know, it's this argument that, you know, in transfer windows, we get this person for experience, and he's done this at Chelsea and he's done this at Brighton, and then when a situation presents itself, you don't make the decision. And I struggle.
Terrible. See what I mean? It's silly things like that. It's crazy. It's just freaking crazy, man. It's just freaking crazy.
That's Odegaard.
Yeah, it's just diabolical. That's not even a hard pass, Vincey. That's not even a hard pass.
And this is what I'm saying is when you defend that type of stuff, and you're saying, okay, well, their head's not in it, or they're cracked or mentally not there. And the manager's seeing this week in, week out, and he's stopping and thinking, whether you're the captain, whether you're the oldest player on the pitch, that affects the team. And especially as you've got a young team who are fighting, the young players are doing their utmost. But look where all these mistakes are coming from. I just find it hard where you bought experience in a time where we needed additional players, and you're not using that experience on those players in situations when
it's bad management.
Yeah,
it's bad management. I mean, that's a simple 5-yard ball. It's not a difficult ball. He's under no pressure.
Look at those scenes in the stands. I mean, as a neutral, it's great to watch, but boy, my word, they're having a party at home tonight, City. Flip me.
Let's face facts. This could have been 8-0 already.
Oh, believe.
You know, Haaland's had 4 saved, put 1 wide. That's 5 opportunities he's had alone. De Bruyne scored. They scored 3.
They're swarming all over us. This is probably going to be our worst. This could be our worst defeat of the season.
Shocking. Just shocking. You know, come to a game like this and it could have been, you just had to keep it tight. You just have to keep it tight. You know, play when you can play. When you don't need to play, don't play.
You got Jorginho in a. If you went, if you were brave and you had Jorginho, Partey, and Xhaka, and took off one
He's
of
caught an elbow in the face there.
Yeah, you're looking and you're saying to yourself, go tight. If he wanted to go tight, he could have gone tight, but he doesn't want to go tight in a game like this. He wants to play his style of football.
Yeah, but we haven't played any style of football.
Yeah, we haven't played, and look.
That's what I mean. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, look at City. They've resorted to long ball football. Manchester City have got cut us in half with long ball football tonight. Make that make sense. Man City with the squad that they've got, they haven't beaten us with tricky wingers today. Is route one.
But look at them fighting to stop us scoring a goal. six or so players.
Yeah, because they know everyone's up for it, man. They know it.
Oh, he's leaned into that with his arm.
That's what I thought. I thought that, but because he kept it close to his chest, got away with it. Xhaka's going to get a yellow.
That's one of only two things he's done in the whole game.
Oh, Arteta's listening to Arsenal 101. It's going to be a double change. Trossard and Jorginho's coming on. See that?
Let's get Xhaka with Greenish round the head.
He just holds him and just walks away. Nonsense, isn't it? There you go.
Too little, too late, Arteta, mate. Too little, too late. These substitutions could have been done at half time. Martinelli off, Trossard on. I don't know. I'm just disappointed with the performance tonight. I didn't expect us to go and win, but I didn't expect us to go and have our tummies tickled either. I mean, this Trossard, he won Player of the Month last month.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't been seen.
It's.
And why start with Xhaka? He missed the last game, was out with an illness, and then you bring him straight back.
That's what I'm saying.
Terrible management. Sorry, you know, and this gives fuel to Ken's opinion that he's a trainee manager. Yes, he's learning his trade. Understandable.
Yeah, you could. And that's what I'm saying. You can't use that as an excuse to say, "Oh, well, you know, he's growing with the team." No, you can't. It's like as if, well, we don't. You have got no confidence in what's going to happen from week to week. You know, at some stage, there's got to be some leadership. There's got to be some accountability and balance moving forward. And you know, you got players. You bought players in January to help the team out. The team needs help. What are you going to do?
Yeah, we see the answer week in, week out. It's nothing.
Mm.
You know, and it's what I was saying before, like last week in the last stream. You know, when you've got an opposing manager, and he basically knows how he's going to set up for what players he's going to play against. Now, if you drop the team sheet an hour before, and all of a sudden Saka's not playing and Trossard's playing, or Odegaard's not playing and Vieira's playing, however you want to work it, that then the manager has to go and retweak his plans because he's playing for a certain team. Because people know that Arteta doesn't make many changes.
Give him something to think about, innit?
You know, I mean, Arteta's done great, don't get me wrong, but he's got to learn that he's got to have a plan B and a different way of playing for different opposition. If you would have gone here tonight with 2 banks of 4 and 2 up front, let the 2 up front do the doggy work, stop them playing the ball around at the back, and the 2 banks of 4 just sit. You know,
something to think about.
But they haven't had to work for this. This has been like a training session for them.
It's been training. It literally has been training. I feel for the travelling supporters, man, because they've got up there looking for performance and we ain't turned up.
Right, guys, I have been in the back listening to you guys. I just had to take my medication in the back and take a little bit of a time out.
I thought you were talking to, you had Arteta on speed dial. That's why those changes happen, man.
I wish, man. I wish. No, I've been just reading the comments. Cam says, yeah, that's all right. I'm back now. Apollo says, not Apollo. Cam says, absolutely shambles. Our players are just giving up. We're meant to be the top 2 teams in the league, but we're making ourselves look like pretenders here. G says, people
look at City fighting for every ball. Look,
I know. We haven't had that from the start of the whistle. People say it's a one-season wonder from us. We shall see next season if we're serious again. But the gulf in quality today in all kinds of aspects really worry me about that we're not there yet.
I don't even think City are a great level above us. But when you're talking about a golf in quality, if you've got one team playing and one team not playing, it looks worse than what it is. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If we go out there and we make it difficult for them, we're not so far apart. This game could have been 8-0.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the comment because you're looking and thinking last season we went and played them and we performed. So, okay, you're in a position to win the league, and yes, all right, get over the fact that you've dropped those 8 points, but you're in a 90-minute game where you can make a difference. And tonight, there is a gulf, and it shows that whether it's mentality, whether it's heart, in these crunch games, that's where we need to, on and off the pitch, step up. So I think there is a gulf. And Gary, you are right. We're not playing, so it's hard to see, but we're not playing for a reason, for multiple reasons.
So Cam says, think of Liverpool versus City games over the last few seasons. We have a lot of work to do. And he says, it's always the same for Arteta's failure to adopt to match situations or change shape. Yeah, but that's a very strange statement, because it's because of those where we've won a lot of games as well. So sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. Look, Pep hasn't been perfect. I've heard you lot talk about Pep and how he's messed things up in the Champions League and stuff like that when he's having to play at a different level. It's just what managers do. Unfortunately, it's the laws of averages that ends up. You know, everybody says we all play 38 games and everybody's judged right at the end of it. So that's where you kind of see it level itself out. And unfortunately, that Arteta's come up short there. So yes, I do agree.
So Paulo, just look at those substitutions now, based on what we've been talking about. And I know you're saying, okay, well, he's going to die by the plays that he's got them there. You stop and you think, well, it still doesn't make sense, because if you're going to bring those players on, I believe Jorginho could have started tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Xhaka could have been on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I think we should have played a double pivot tonight. And I still think
that gives fuel to the comment that you just read out about his failure to adapt and change the system. Because he could have gone with a double pivot tonight. He could have gone with a flat back four. He could have played Tierney instead of Zinchenko. It's horses for courses, isn't it?
I think that's why he wants Declan Rice. I think that you're looking at life after Xhaka, and I think that in a perfect world, he'll want Zinchenko probably further up the pitch, and he'll want a double pivot, and we'll have to wait and see what he does, because he's still building this team, guys. This is not it. It's not the finishing article.
So let's put this into perspective. We've been linked with Declan Rice all season. You go out and buy. You say you're going to give El Neni a year's contract. Xhaka has had his probably best season at Arsenal, but he needs to be replaced. You go out and buy Jorginho in January, but Declan Rice is going to be the guy who potentially we're going to want to possibly jump ahead of Xhaka next season.
Yeah, it may not even be that, because they went in and bid 75 million for Caicedo. So if that had been done, Rice wouldn't even be looked at in terms of getting. They might have wanted to buy him, but if you're talking about players starting on the pitch, Caicedo is your guy. So do you see where I'm coming from? There's a lot of things there's a lot of options, and paths that this team can go into. And I think that the Declan Rice is an option B. I don't think it's option A.
How long does Xhaka have on his contract? 2 years?
That's a good question, because he did, when people said he signed a 4-year deal, it wasn't actually a 4-year deal. All it was a year extension. Right.
So I'm trying to see how that midfield. I'm bemused as to how our midfield shapes next season. Even if you buy a Rice and you still have the players that we have in the squad this season, I struggle to see how it lines up based on how.
So Xhaka has 1 year left on his deal.
Okay, so we've got Xhaka.
I mean, look at this passage of play now. I'm at 68-32. So we nicked the ball, and there's no one through the middle whatsoever. How on earth do you expect to get a chance if you have no one through the middle at all?
Yeah, I mean, they're not even playing, are they? Their heads are gone.
So Apollo, what you're saying is you've got Xhaka on 1 year, you've got Nene being given another 1 year, you've got Jorginho on a 1 year contract, is it?
No, it's
18 months,
the rest of this season and next year as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So 2024 summer, Xhaka, El Nene, and Jorginho's contracts are all up.
Okay. So next season we're going to be playing with Jorginho, Xhaka, and El Nene.
El Nene, yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to possibly go out and get a Caicedo or a Declan Rice.
Yeah, I mean Jorginho would be 34, Xhaka would be 32. El Nene, I've got to check El Nene. I think El Nene would be 32 as well. I've got to check on that. But yeah, so he's looking to definitely get young at that spot.
Okay.
Declan Rice, I believe is it 24 or 25? I think it's 25. Caicedo's a pup, man. What is he, 21? So
and Partey's what, 29?
29, yeah. So wow, Nottingham Forest. They're beating Brighton. Nottingham Forest were down 2-0. Nottingham Forest are beating Brighton 3-2.
You gotta love the Premier League, ain't you?
They need the points.
Yeah, you know that, man.
Oh look, Trossard has almost created an opportunity. First time a run in behind. Only took 70 minutes.
So the funny thing about it, guys, is we're here, we're talking about all this stuff that's going on, but
Oh,
Arsenal have
Smith
played.
Rowe's coming on.
Oh God, where was he against Southampton? So, guys, the reality is Arsenal have played 2 more games than City and are 2 points ahead. Would you actually put it past Man City to drop some points and lose a few games?
No.
As I said, they've won 13 in a row.
At some point, they're going to drop points, I believe. But tonight, we just needed to get something out of the game, and obviously, it's gone tonight. But I can see this is the frustrating thing. City can drop points. We just didn't perform against them tonight.
And that's what it is.
Well, that's the thing. We just made it easy for them. Sat off, let them knock it around. There was no press. If you're going to do that, then have 2 low blocks.
Yeah, because all you've done, you've essentially handed them the title. You've said, "There you go. If you want it, it's yours."
Yeah. If you play bad, okay, we'll capitalize. But you know what?
So now Party's playing the 8 now, and Jorginho's playing the holding role.
Which is kind of how I thought that he would play sometimes, because Party's so good in that transitional area. He's so good at keeping the ball and developing play. He's so good at that. You know, Party can see a pass as well. And you don't want to worry too much about Jorginho in the 6 because you've got Party there to bail you out if you get into trouble. So I actually don't think that that's a bad shout. Guys, in the chat, I'm feeling you. I know some of you ain't typing, but you're still there. And I feel you guys. I do feel you. Yes, it's frustrating, but don't lose hope. Don't lose hope on the future. And there may be a slim chance this season, but yeah, effectively, we're not out of it yet. But I tell you what, guys, it's out of our hands now. It's not in our hands, and that much is certain. It's now in Man City's hands. So guys, that's where we are.
Here's something to look forward to. You know, regardless of whether we're gonna win the league or not.
It's the future. The future is definitely bright. You know, a couple of real good signings. We need to get that target guy up front. But I think most of all, Arteta's got to learn that he's got to play different ways in different games.
But we're gonna have a meetup. We have to have a meetup.
Oh, here's a fight now between Grealish and Partey.
There's only one winner there.
Well, Grealish was behind the Xhaka thing, so maybe Grealish's job is to just go out there and wind them up. And Grealish is the first person to that fight was Grealish's best friend, which was Saka.
Yeah, Apollo, we're gonna have to have a meetup at the end of this season, man. I think it's been a great season for us as fans to get behind the team and
celebrate.
As I say, the guys in the chat have been immense all season on the streams, and I think it'd be great for us to, you know, come together and just vibe, you know, meet the faces, put faces to names. Yeah, man, let's get it sorted out.
Yeah, Liverpool will be back next season. Look at what is Grealish doing, man? Oh, Grealish tried to yeah. Oh God. I must say though that there's a lot of good things to look forward to. I thought that Thomas Partey would have got injured again towards the end of this season. So they've really done a lot of work with Thomas Partey's fitness. So that's something that bodes well for the future. A lot of good things to look forward to. But I live in hope that Man City drops a few points. Wouldn't it be nice if Man City failed to win their next 2 games or got a point in their last 2 in their next 2 games? Andrew says Liverpool were the main challengers for the 3 seasons, and look at them now. Man City have a huge financial advantage which cannot be underestimated. And then see what happens to Newcastle next season. And I say that because remember the agreement with Newcastle is that they were capped at 350 million for the first 3 seasons. After that, in 2025, Newcastle can spend whatever money they want. And believe me, they're going to be that. It's nuts to think that Newcastle are in this situation right now. It's nuts. Next season, they're going to be thinking title. They're going to be thinking, let's go out there in the summer, rebuild, and try and take on Man City. Yeah. Stylist says, well, Brighton lost. At least we qualified for the Champions League. Yep. So we officially qualified for the Champions League today. That's something to celebrate, guys. Cam says, hopefully we signed 2 out of Rice and Caicedo and McAllister next season. Ship party, aka Wanyama Mark II, off to West Ham or somewhere. Don't be silly. Apollo with no great shakes as a supporter. Tell me about it, mate. Niama says Man City ain't losing anything more. We will, though. Possibly that would be the case, Niamis. Yeah, that would probably be, especially the trip up to Newcastle. And we got Brighton as well. Kurt says, hope the team puts this match behind them and cement second place. Because Newcastle, like I said, man, they don't look like they're losing either. Randall said, we dropped off. Yeah, we didn't just drop off. We fell off a cliff, bro. I mean, this is 4 games in a row. We've got 3 points from our last 4 games from a possible 12. We've just
without the rope.
Yeah, we've just
well played,
capitulated.
Jorginho.
Yeah, we just capitulated, man.
Saka's done Grealish with a body dip.
Yeah, we've just capitulated. That's all there is to it. You know, I'm not even gonna spend time trying to justify anything. We lost to a team that is probably the best team in the world, with the best squad in the world and the best striker in the world.
Who hasn't scored tonight? But he could have had 5.
Could have had a hat trick. He could have had a hat trick.
Do you know what? I know you're talking about best team and all that in the world. Nah. Real Madrid will deal with Man City if they were to play them.
Yeah, they are playing them. Yeah, right, so that's going to be really exciting.
So I just think right now City are playing well. And this is not to take away how we played this season, but we played good football at the start of this season. Midway through the season, we played good football, and that's not to throw away how we're playing right now. But I don't think Man City are the best team in the world. They've got the best squad. I think they are. They've got the best squad, but yeah. I don't think
the best striker.
But I mean, if you watch the Bayern Munich against them, Bayern Munich absolutely tore them apart.
That's what I'm saying. Defensively,
Bayern Munich lacked a striker. If they would have had Lewandowski, they probably would have won that game. You know that.
And that's what I'm saying. You look at what we haven't exposed Man City tonight, but they are gettable. Yeah. They are gettable.
Randall says our weakness, Rob Holding's been exposed. Bro, today had nothing to do with Rob Holding at all. Today had to do with us. It had to do with everybody on that pitch. They never gave. They came out and they just got battered. They gave the ball away. They looked awful. I mean, you know what makes me laugh, Randall? We've put Smith Rowe. We've put Fabio Vieira, we've put those guys, Trossard on up front, and the strikers weren't even getting the ball in the first place.
And now Reece Nelson and Eddie are coming on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just giving credit to De Bruyne because you know what, you got to give credit. He's had a great performance. He's just stepping off now. So
he's been a man of the match for me easily. Yeah. Not even close. But as I was saying to Randall, it's Jesus, Saka, Martinelli. They've been missing. Odegaard to an extent. They've been missing for an hour because we haven't even seen the ball up front. So
he's taking Saka off anyway.
I just find it laughable. The problems in the midfield. What he should have done was got Jorginho on, run a double pivot and try and control the game from there. Bringing all these strikers on when they couldn't even get the ball in the first half is going to make no difference. It's not going to affect the outcome at all. But yeah,
You know,
my point was Rob Holding. He's not. I mean, Ben White's been poor. He's been worse than Rob Holding this game. I can give you that. But yeah, not much you can say here, guys. Man, can't justify it. It is what it is. Take my hat off to the better team, and not just the better team, but they've thoroughly beaten Arsenal twice.
I took Jesus off as well.
Yeah, they've thoroughly beaten Arsenal twice this year.
Yeah, it's a little bit humbling when you look at the head-to-heads this year.
Yeah. I mean, you think, guys, we've gone through a whole season of change. We won away at Spurs for the first time in 9 years. We didn't get beat at Anfield. Not only didn't we get beat at Anfield, but we took 4 points from Liverpool this year. 4 points, which is our best result in 11 years. That's our best result against Liverpool in 11 years. And we've just been an anomaly. We've been breaking all kinds of trends. Unfortunately, to be the champions, you have to beat the champions. And that's something that we couldn't do. And there's nothing against Arteta and all the players. Yeah. You just got beaten by a better team. That's it. No, nothing more to add about it. When you do things against other teams, you can hold your hands up. But when you play Man City face to face, man to man, in the ring, with your boxing gloves on, and you can't win that fight, you've got to clap the person in the other corner.
Well, right now I'm clapping Reece Nelson because he's a man who's been on the bench and my man's dribbling. My man's dribbling through Man City, and we're talking about a man who can't get on the pitch. And this is foolishness.
I've been telling you guys about Reece Nelson for years, man.
No, but
Gary has come along.
I've always been a Reece Nelson, but see, Vinci, this is what I mean. You got a guy like Reece Nelson. He comes on, he makes things happen. For 5-10 minutes. Yeah, he's done more there than we've seen Saka all game.
Yeah, and he goes past people, man.
And this is the things when I'm hearing the
good cross shot from Eddie. Ben White should have really been there, man, to tap that in.
Yeah,
it don't make sense. Make sense.
Ball to Eddie, shifts it, shoots. Now Jesus would have wanted to check back in and check back out and beat that guy again. Sometimes the simple football is the best.
Yeah.
Eddie received the ball, shifted it, cross shot, could have easily got in, could have been deflected in. Ben White could have tapped it in if he makes the run.
But you heard a joke. Why did Nketiah get that ball? Because
Nelson
burst through the midfield, got past Rodri, sliding the ball wide to Nketiah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, we're going to have to...
Ben White. What kind of defending is that, Ben White?
Ben White's been awful today. We're just going to wait and see what happens. We're just going to wait and see what happens. Yeah, I wanted it too, man. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of players that have been hard done by this season by Arteta, like Sir Nelson, Trossard.
And next season it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better, Gary, because the argument you turn around and said, "Oh well, you know what? He's not ready." Well, why is he not ready? You're managing the team. If you're not developing these players, you're managing the team and you're holding them back.
Yeah, and to an extent, like we've been hearing him talking about Smith Rowe for the last 4 weeks, saying he's got to do this, he's got to do that in training, he's got to do. So there's something fundamentally that he's not seeing. Yeah. He talked like this with Nelson to an extent before he started playing Nelson, but he's still underplaying Nelson in my opinion. And the fact of the matter is Saka, these guys,
here goes Nelson again. Look on the outside corner.
Yeah, they can't play 90 minutes every game, but yet Arteta's making them.
But look at these people.
Go, Rob Holding.
Holdinho.
And that was easy.
But look at I forgot what I was going to say now.
I switched the BT app back on my phone. Yeah, I switched the app back on.
He kept that under wraps, didn't it?
You know that.
He kept that under wraps.
You know that
Yeah,
for real.
It was a good bit. It was good build up, though. Typical Arsenal football. And
I said
guess who
3-1
made
to
it?
someone, didn't I?
And guess who made the goal, guys?
Reece Nelson.
Trossard, the guy
And
who
Trossard.
started. Great finish by Holding. Great finish. Guys, what did I say to you the prediction would be?
3-1.
Yeah, exactly.
I said 3-1.
Yeah, you did as well, Gary. You did as well.
Good strike. Good strike.
I mean, we've only started playing when Reece Nelson's come on. He's got the ball and he's made a couple of things happen. You know, a lot of massive players been hard done by this year. And like you say, Vince, is it going to get any better?
No, he ain't going to get them
You
better.
can't play the same 11 week in, week out without making changes and keeping players fresh. I mean, look at his treatment of Saka in some of the games. We was all saying Saka's got to be taken off. We're 3-0 up or whatever we was winning. And Saka's coming off in the 83rd minute. You think, give the guy a rest, give the guy a break. Yeah. Nelson had come back from injury. Jesus had come back from injury. You know, there was players there that you could put on. And he still kept going and going and going.
And Gary, to the point, what's going to happen is, if Arsenal then go and flog Nelson away, the narrative's going to be, well, we're getting some money for him. It's going to go to, we're wasting money. That talented player, should
exactly.
be
I 100% agree.
If we sell him, but we don't sell him for the money that we should be doing. We're just holding the club back because we spend more money on other players, and you've got the youth there.
I said at the beginning of the season that Reece Nelson could save us millions and millions of pounds in this transfer market. I mean, look at the positions he's taking up. He's finding space in behind.
And prepared to run at senior players who are battering our team on the pitch. He's got on the pitch and saying, I'm not having it.
See, now sit here in a game, but it's taken us 85 minutes to put them into a game when the game's done.
And that's what is just frustrating, because there is no excuse for not turning up.
No,
really no excuse for not turning up.
No excuse for this performance whatsoever. I'll go and sit down, man. It's 88 minutes. Now you want to start telling people what to do. Go and sit down, man. Take a break.
Yeah, I just said that, G. I just said that. That's it's in the heading. It's in the topic heading on the top of the game thread. I've put it down there. 3-1 to City. Yeah, mate. You know, Reece has been underplayed. I told him that to his face. I said, they're underplaying you, man. I just hope he doesn't leave. I really do. I hope that they're going to have a conversation. There's a lot of football to play next season, and the team we have now cannot sustain a run in the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the league. We need Tierney. We need Smith Rowe. We need Nketiah. We need Reece Nelson. We need Jorginho. We need those players. 5 minutes time added on, guys. Yeah, if Reece leaves, I would be so. Reece could go into any team. He could walk into Brighton. He could walk into Aston Villa. He could sign for Liverpool, although he wouldn't play in the first 11 there.
I think he's a great player, Reece Nelson.
He could play for Brentford. He could play for Fulham. He'd walk straight into Fulham's team. Fulham are 10th in the table now. He could walk into Palace. There's a couple of good players at Palace, but I think he'd start. He could play for Wolves. Man. He could play for West Ham. He'd walk into Bournemouth's team. He'd walk into Leeds' team. Nelson's quality. Yeah, I just personally think that Arteta needs to rotate more. There's no point in having a squad if you're going to stick with the same 11 week in, week out. City don't even do that. Do you know what I mean? There's times when what was Jesus playing there?
15 games, starting 15 games or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You know, you've got young, hungry players like Reece and Eddie. That, you know, let them play. Let them go and do what they can do. I know that you've got Saka and Martinelli are the number ones, but you know they need their own time. They need rest.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Look, there's just some decisions to make. I think you're going to have to go hard and see where you are in the next few games. Now, we've played 33 games and Man City's played 31. So we have 5 games left and City has 7 games left. So I would probably go hard for the next 2 games and see where you are after 35 games. And if City keep on winning, then I would just start to switch it up then. I definitely give the guys more game time. I definitely wouldn't be playing Xhaka. Listen, credit to Xhaka, guys. Take nothing away. It's his best season. But you got to start. You got to put Smith Rowe in and talk to him about that number 8 position. Aaron Ramsey made that his position. He could play anywhere. But that 8 position, Aaron Ramsey owned. And I've always looked at Smith Rowe as the successor to that. I've never seen him as a 10, ever. And I think he'd do such a good job there at the 8 role. I really do. And I think that even if not that, I think also just having Trossard on the field gives you so much more. And this is indicative of players just going missing for long amples of the game. When you need things happening and players just go missing, that's not helping anybody. And so we need to change. We need to change the game up. Nelson's got to play more. You cannot start Saka for 38 games in 38. So you just can't do it. It's just like no one does it. City doesn't do it with their players. Their players start 25 to 26 games, which means you rest them for 12 matches. So why is Arteta just constantly, every single game, Saka? Rest him, man.
Zinchenko, that is so poor, Zinchenko.
That's yeah.
It's the worst sliding tackle I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's just, you know, see how you go for the next couple of games. And then you've got to start showing these players love because you've been underplaying so many players, man. And there's room for everybody.
That could probably have a lot to do with why some of them are underperforming now because they've been overplayed over the course of the season.
Yeah,
I do think that with Smith Rowe, I know what how you view him, Apollo. And this last season was his breakout season, and it was awesome. But he's injury prone, and I think this season, if anything, right now, Arteta's managing that injury or his fatigue on recovery.
Oh, what a goal by Haaland! Oh shit! 49 goals. What a goal! Look,
he's got his hair out as well
today. Ramsdale has. If you see the finish, that's a fantastic goal. That might even be better than De Bruyne's first goal.
Nah, mate, it's all right. It's all right. De Bruyne's first goal was sick. It's all right goal.
Yeah,
I think it's better with his hair loose.
It looks like a proper
fresh out of a Timotei advert.
That's it, yeah, man. It makes the goal look even better with his hair out, man.
That's a lovely touch. No, Ramsdale got to answer that. That's
no.
But you know, as I say, we spoke about it. I think 2 weeks.
Stuffs it a bit.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago we spoke about Player of the Year and the record that Haaland's got.
Yeah, he's going to get Player of the Year. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
It's ridiculous when you consider.
Yeah, he's going to win Player of the Year. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, he will now. They'll go on to win the league. He'll get Player of the Year.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the full-time whistle. And for once, I'm actually turning the BT app off. So guys, is it even worth doing player ratings?
No,
No, I can't. I
They
can't
were
rate
they
Arsenal.
were all poor.
we don't need that
Yeah.
kind of disappointment at this time of night.
I'm dead, man. I can't.
And guys, I'm going to be real with you. In order to do player ratings, you have to talk about the player's performance, and they didn't really perform. Like,
Well, that
I
would
can't
be the shortest stream ever, wouldn't it?
yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you that we started playing when all the subs came on, which means your first 11 gave you nothing. Credit to Ramsdale for making those 3 saves from Haaland, but they still put 4 past you. And I'm not even going to, I might blame you for 2 of them. You probably could have done something with 2 of those goals. But as a team, as a whole, Arsenal, what was your XG like? At halftime, their XG was 0.00. I mean, you didn't even look close to scoring. You were so far out of this game in terms of competition that it weren't even a contest. It was a complete and utter mismatch. And so, look, you're not going to find me sticking the boot in on Arsenal, guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be professional and just hand it to the fact that Man City are just a phenomenal team with phenomenal players. This is their 14th win in a row. Let me repeat that. In their last 14 games, they've won every single one of them. Every single one of them.
And I think haven't they not scored less than 3 goals in each one of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've just, even when they dropped Haaland, they still won 4-1 in the Premier League. So take care, Andrew, man. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. And also Neomis, take care as well. Thanks for you to
No, bro.
yeah. So guys, it's just really a summary from me, man. And I just want to say I'm so proud of what this team has been able to do today, this season. It's been godsend. And I'm speaking from a sense of being in the stadium every single game. This is, for 16 years, I've been a season ticket holder at the Emirates when the stadium opened. And this has been by far the best year. Money cannot even come close to the type of entertainment and enjoyment that I've witnessed at the Emirates. I mean, every year, sometimes I season ticket and go, I've got to pay that season ticket. Blinking. I'm not even wincing at the fact of paying 1,300 quid to watch this team play for a whole season. I will, it will be shut up and take my money. Because as in the words of Anthony Vinci Tone, are you not entertained? Yeah? Are you not entertained?
Wasn't entertained tonight.
Thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? That's because sometimes fans will have way high expectations and they won't look at the intangibles. I always look at the intangibles. So when things don't happen, I logically understand why. But some fans don't have the logic. It's like, it's emotion, innit? It's all emotion, and that emotion just drives your narrative. And that's where you get all the screaming, the shouting, and the swearing, and all of that stuff. And yes, so it is frustrating, but look at the team that beat us tonight. Look at what they've done this season. And they've had 2 purple patches, by the way. They've had purple patches. And remember, I made the video in November saying Arsenal would win the league because I said Man City, in that video was at the beginning of November. I launched that video. We're now in April, going into May. And I told you guys that Man City lose 4 games and they draw 4 or 5 games every season. Didn't I say that? And look, Man City played 31, won 23, drawed 4 and lost 4. They've done exactly the same as what I said that they were going to do, because they do that every season. They always lose and draw 4 or 5 games. And that's exactly what they've done. So for me, it was about how good can Arsenal be? How consistent can they be? And all the pundits, Gary Neville, Alan Shearer, they were all, yeah, it's only a couple of months gone. Yeah, it's only Christmas. Yeah, it's still February. It's still early. Like, they never wanted to believe, because they always thought in the back of their mind that the squad wasn't good enough to get them all the way through 38 games. And maybe they were right, but at the same time, Arsenal, the frustration is Arsenal, with 31 games played, they had an 30 games played, they had an 8-point lead. It was in your hands. That's the frustration, that you got so close. Bertram says Man United beat City by playing box one on De Bruyne with Fred. Arteta is a one-trick pony. I'm afraid you're right. He's a one-trick pony. We all said that here. There doesn't seem to be a plan B. He only knows how to play one way. I've commented on this before. I have some of you have agreed with me. Some of you haven't. Tony doesn't agree. But I've said that this is not the finishing article. He does not want to play a single pivot. No, look at the best teams in the world. None of them play like this. They all play with a double pivot. And just like since Arteta's walked through the doors of Arsenal Football Club, he's been making the best out of a bad situation. He went back three for a whole season before he switched to his native 4-3-3. He went back three, and we looked the best in that back three. Maitland-Niles was in the midfield. We were bullying teams. Went on to win the FA Cup. Really improved on the tail end of that season. Went from we were in 14th place at one point, and then ended up finishing 8th after a horrible season. I think that was his first season. That was Arteta's. When Arteta took the team over in January, we were 14th place, and Arteta really made a roll at it. But he had to get rid of 21 players. So that kind of stops your development, doesn't it? When you're playing all these high wages, you've got all these players on your books that can't fit into the system that you want to play. So we've gone from that to we're now sort of playing in the system. You've now got players who can play in that system. That's it. But the system itself is still a work in progress because you're not playing the way you want to play. Your native double pivot ain't happening. Partly because of the squad limitations, but partly also because of how good Thomas Partey is. Because if Thomas Partey wasn't this good, they would be winging it in a sense. They would be forced to play the double pivot with players who can't. And I truly believe that Jorginho can play there. It's just that he's got so used to playing with Partey in that role that it frees up Zinchenko to come in as the inverted. So Arteta's going to have a look at this at the system and what he's doing with the formation. He's going to take a good look at himself in the summer and see how he can improve that. But the Declan Rice, the Casado, all those things, guys, is being done for a reason. It's because this team, like I said to you guys 2 months ago, they're going to be in a double pivot at some point. That's the end game. Yeah, the end game. The finale, the cherry on the top, is to get back to playing in a double pivot. No successful team in world football plays with the single pivot. We're only doing that because of the limitations of the squad. Vincey?
I'm hearing you saying about, I've long talked about this formation. It does my head in because it's frustrating. Because in attack, it's yes, we've done well this season, but in these games, this is where this formation, nah. As a baller, play the game, nah. This frustrates me when I see that, and I know you're saying that we are going to go towards a double pivot. I still can't see it because to have that, you need to have who's up top. So when you have your Jesus coming back in midfield, who's up top?
They've got to go and get my guy from Napoli. They've got to
okay. So this is what I'm saying. So you're not just talking about changing the midfield, the centre in midfield. You're also talking about your forward. So you've gone out and bought Jesus, when in essence you're going to have to replace the Jesus to get your forward. So when you're saying it's going to, I can't see it. It may happen in the future, but I can't see it because this manager has a tendency to not make those changes in a quick, speedy time. So, yes, you're right 100% that no team plays this single pivot, but our manager wants to continue playing this single pivot with the type of striker that he has up front right now, and asking that same striker to come back into midfield. You can't have it both ways and expect it to change in a short period of time, because that same striker, if you push him up front, he's still going to struggle because he's on his own.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors to this. As I said, welcome, La African Guna. We'll get your thoughts in a second. There are, and this this answers the next question as well. Cam says, Apollo, why has it taken so long to change it? It hasn't taken long. Arsenal fans, that's the perception that Arsenal fans are giving you. That's where a lot of the frustration comes from. Why haven't we got? Yeah, I just said last season and before that, we got rid of 21 players. It's a transition. The day that Edu and Arteta walked into this club, what did they say? They said, in 3 years, we're going to be challenging for the top 4. In the 4th year, we're going to challenge for the Champions League. For the league title. For the 5th year, we're going to challenge for the Champions League. We're in year 3. We're actually ahead of schedule. But Arsenal fans won't tell you that. Arsenal fans will say, oh, we should have this, we should have that. But what they're actually doing, they're following their road plan from day one. And in their eyes, when they have to report to Josh, they're actually on track. They're on track to do every single thing that they set out that they're doing. And they have done everything that they set out to do. They've got into the top 4. They were challenging to the top 4 when they were trying to get back into the Europe last season. Last season, the challenge was to get back into the Europa League. They nearly got in the Champions League. This season, it was to get into the top 4. They nearly won the title. Next season, it's going to be champions. So the expectations are growing. That's why the extra money's coming from Josh. They went back to him in January and said, bro, we need another 100 million from you because this is going way better than we expected. And Josh gave them another 100 million. So it's not taking long. Let's get that perception out of our heads. There's nothing long about this. Is a process that is following the roadmap exactly to a point. Arsenal are on track to achieve what they want to achieve. And very few teams are in that situation. You look next season, Ten Hag, yeah? What's the pressure going to be like on him? He ain't even made the top 4. What's it going to be like for Eddie Howe? It's not going to be the same way as it is with everyone else. Look at Jurgen Klopp. He ain't even getting into the Champions League next season. So what's it going to be for him? So we have to, there's a lot of expectations here to set to Arteta, but by no means has he failed in that way. Yes, the team have choked and they've given it up. They cracked, as I would say, but that doesn't stop what's going on. It just infuses them to say, look, this is what we can really do. If you give us a squad that can achieve that. And this now goes back to the owners. The owners now have to come back again and invest in the summer and then get your Casado or get your Declan Rice, get your Victor Osimhen, get your pieces that are going to get me to that level. That's what it boils down to. The flip side of it, which is what, before I go to Lafin Kunguna, the flip side of it, which is what Vincey's pointing out, that's the intangible. The intangible is, even when I have my pieces, am I going to be understanding in the way of the faults that Arteta himself is bringing to the team? So am I going to change it up? Am I going to understand that this player, Trossard, has done nothing but good since he's playing in this team, and I've benched him for the last 5 games? Am I going to be able to have a guy like Reece Nelson that every time I put him on the pitch, he just blows past players like the wind? He creates, he scores, he does everything, but I'm not playing him. Am I going to understand that the reason why Jesus wasn't suited for the striker role at City was because he's too much of an inconsistent scorer? So he played on the left for 94% of his starts in City. Only 6% of his time at City did he play as a main striker. So Arteta's going to have to reflect on that because you brought him in as your main striker. But unfortunately, I personally don't think that that's good enough. But then what do you do with Martinelli? You can try and switch them because Martinelli can play up top as well. In fact, that improves Martinelli because Martinelli doesn't have great vision in the final third. He's not the best passer of the ball. So Martinelli actually, if you made him the point guy and put Jesus on the left, does that improve your team? Yeah, and what do you do with Trossard? So there's going to be a lot of things for him to play about with, but that is going to be our next problem. Yeah, that's going to be the issue next season is, can you make the changes and rotate the squad enough, keep the players happy? Can you do that next season? Because if you can't, then this team will fail for the simple reason that you're overplaying players, not giving quality players enough chances, and that's going to bring disillusioned heads into the locker room. There's all these things that are going around. But anyway, African Gooner, let's get your thoughts on tonight's performance.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to stay on for too long because I'm obviously quite disappointed. We were just crap. We were crap. Well, we didn't even have a shot on target. I never want to see Rob Holding playing for Arsenal again. I've been saying it for years. I mean, a lot of that for me was on him. The first goal, Haaland just literally, if that's Saliba's competing, making it difficult for him to control that ball and play it to De Bruyne. I think Ramsdale could have done a bit better as well in some of the saves, but he also made a lot of good stops. So I don't really know how I feel about that one. I mean, Holding ended up scoring, which is just hilarious. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just one of those things. Arsenal gives you so much hope and then just takes it all away. And, I've had this feeling so many times. I think this season was still a great one, probably the best one that I've had as an Arsenal fan. So definitely are some positives. I'm definitely looking forward to going to the Wolves game still. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Just we're not good enough. We should have signed a defender in January instead of Kiwior, who doesn't play. Partey's fallen off like the hill. I don't know what's going on with him. Odegaard with the mistake for the third goal. I mean, like, we were not in this game at all. I honestly got really bored at a point. I was just like, you know what I mean? I was on my phone, and that doesn't happen often, almost at all. And I just felt so defeated because I knew the first 10 minutes, it's already 1-0. Like, the game was already over, really. For me, the game was over as soon as I saw Holding's name on the team sheet, because I said it 3 days ago that he was going to be the cause of our downfall. And I don't want to be negative, but that's just how I feel as a fan, For me, he was the weakest link, and they targeted him, and he just couldn't handle Haaland. I mean, I said initially we needed to play three at the back. We needed to kind of play how we played against Man City in that semi-final at the FA Cup, right? Where we kind of just did a counter-attack with Aubameyang and Tierney playing him in and Pepe. And that was really the only way I could see us winning this game. There was, for me, that had to happen. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say because there really wasn't much from Arsenal's perspective until the last 5 minutes, as usual. Arteta being very stubborn, not making changes. That needs to change next season. That needs to change. Look, maybe because we don't have that many options, but still, like, I still think they.
No, I think he has options though. South Africa good. He does have options. He just chooses not to use them.
Yeah, no, that's my point. I agree with you. I'm just giving him a little bit of benefit of the doubt that, like, look, okay, who really was gonna bring on defensively for me needed to change at halftime. Like, I was ready to pull off Holding, play Ben White at center back. I mean, we needed to change something. It was so obvious.
Right. Okay,
we
guys.
were holding for dear life. We were holding for dear life. They could have scored 3-4 goals in the first half. We were on thin ice. And eventually they punished us.
So, guys, because I'm hearing it now in the chats about Holding. Guys, seriously, was Holding the reason why we lost tonight?
Yeah. Everyone has their own opinion. You have your own opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion as well. And
of course you are.
Yeah,
but I don't want to. I've done this with Xhaka in the past as well. I've done this myself with Xhaka in the past, where you talk about one player so much and you just negate the rest of the team. I mean,
no, agree.
I'm not going to do player ratings, but I did write them down. And you know who was the worst two rated players in my ratings? It was Ben White and Gabriel. No,
Saka was really bad too.
He was, but he wasn't a 3 out of 10. Gabriel plays on that left hand side. His job is to mark Haaland, and Haaland.
What do you? No. It's both of their jobs to mark Haaland. And what do you expect? Gabriel's turned into a Bambi on ice since Saliba's gotten injured. There's no coincidence. Look at who he's playing with.
This, in my opinion, was Gabriel's worst performance of the season. He just got absolutely manhandled, and Holding wasn't the reason why we lost. He didn't.
No,
He wasn't
he's
great by
absolutely
any
the reason
means.
why we lost.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the narrative on
A
social media.
major reason for me. If you watch the goals, he is at fault for most of those goals. So there's no scapegoating here. And I agree. The rest of the team also was poor. But when we're saying directly contributing to the goal, for me, it's Holding. There's many times where I'm seeing him running from the halfway line. You're the center back. What are you doing?
So you just pointed out the first goal. I just want to say something on the first goal.
Yeah.
The first goal, as I said, positionally, Gabriel is the left centre back, Holding's the right centre back.
Yeah.
De Bruyne got the ball on the left hand side, which is Gabriel's space, but yet it's Holding's ball. See what I mean? Holding even scored.
Wait, Apollo. How does he?
Holding even scored a goal tonight.
No, with the first goal, with the first goal, when Holding gets attracted in to Haaland, and Haaland plays the ball off,
it's finished. From there,
De Bruyne runs off of Partey across Gabriel, where Zinchenko should be. But because Zinchenko wants to play inverted midfield, he's not in position.
He's not in position. Exactly.
All day long eats that up.
Yeah. So there's three red shirts around De Bruyne when he scores, but it's Holding's fault.
No, but it's the point is he shouldn't have gotten the ball in the first place. It was way too easy. Trust me, if Saliba was defending there, it wouldn't have been that easy. Haaland just holds him off like he's no one. He just lays the ball off, and then from there, De Bruyne is just De Bruyne. I agree. We could have still defended better after, but my point is he shouldn't even be in that position to begin with, right? Yeah. And I think in any facet of level of soccer or football, when the center back gets pulled like that, with the striker, and the striker is so good to kind of hold him off and just lay the ball back. Holding's out of position, and you're already we're already at a disadvantage there. It's already it's so hard, right? And De Bruyne can shoot from anywhere. These are things we should have been aware of, right? We knew this was going to happen.
Well, we're aware of them, but you can't stop it because he's the best striker in the world, and De Bruyne's the best number 10 in the world.
We should have parked the bus like Mourinho style with Chelsea. We should have just played 10 at the back, and then
you can't park the bus without Saliba. You can't park the bus without Saliba, man. It's not possible.
You play 2 banks of 4. That's how you park the bus.
Yeah,
that's what we should have done.
I mean, we've let 7 goals in the last 3 games, and 2 of them against lower league teams. You come to Man City, you're expecting to get.
But I'm hearing this narrative that you can't do certain things that you need to do based on players who are out of your team. And I can't accept that when you go into City.
I agree with Inter. Yeah,
you go to City and you've leaked goals in your previous game. And looking at how we played today, we are so weak down the middle, and until Jorginho came on, did we even resembly look like we had any structure in our team? So the narrative is, as Lafaguna says, you plug that gap. Right now, Man City all season play in the midfield. Yeah, Haaland is a beast on his own. But what you've seen in the previous 2 games, he's manhandled our defense. So what do? You put an extra man inside there, because if you block those holes, because if he's going to do those layoffs, you've got an extra man in there. You have to be astute to the threat of Haaland. He's not going to beat you with pace. If you leave him open, then he's going to run on. But he's not going to beat you with pace. Strength. So what you're going to do? De Bruyne. Look at the other goal that he scored against in the last game where he had the layoff. Ran straight through. Runners. No one was running through with him. So you've got to put a midfielder in there.
I think it was bad team selection.
The only reason why I don't agree with the 3 of you is because the first goal, as I said, I pointed out the first
Apollo,
goal.
We know that you rate Holding. It's been years that I know that you liked him. It's nothing to do with that.
This isn't about Rob Holding. And look, I'll be the first person to tell you, you can't take an average player and replace him with one of you can't take one of the best centre backs, all 11 in the league, and replace them with average play. It ain't gonna happen. But my point is which goes to what Gary and Vincey was saying as well. The first goal comes from Man City was being pinned by Arsenal. Arsenal had 3 red shirts in Man City's corner flag, and they hit a 50-yard ball into our midfield. That ball was supposed to be won by a red shirt, and it wasn't. And these are one of the things where you miss a Saliba, because you can play that high line knowing Gabriel and Saliba can take care of their one-on-one matches. They can do it they've done it all season long. So you miss that. We didn't get possession of the ball then, and then it was a race. De Bruyne had no support. It was 1 against 3.
You're also proving the point, right? We're saying that the reason is because Saliba isn't there, right? But then who is replacing him, right? That makes the difference, right? That's why I'm saying that I'm contributing it to him, because we're saying it's because Saliba's missing. Fine, that's fair. Now, who's replacing him? Rob Holding, right? So then that's why, for me, I'm saying like, okay, I have to contribute it to him, because directly what you're saying is that the person that's replaced Saliba isn't able to do what Saliba's doing, right? And that has cost us.
Yeah, and in my opinion, you can't replace Saliba. In the same way that when the first goal went in, Vincey and Gary were saying, "Oh, it's these person's fault. Is that person's fault?" I sat back and went, "That's just a freaking brilliant goal by the best number 10 in the world." And the patience he had 3 red shirts around him. The way he weaved, the way how he tempered the ball. He saw where Ramsdale was. He hit it, curled it into the far post. So people were saying it's Ramsdale's fault. Ramsdale couldn't have got there, man. He's got such an acute bend on the ball with the paces. It's De Bruyne. That's why that goal was scored. It was De Bruyne. But in the midfield, had we got Saliba there, he would have won that header, and they wouldn't have had the ball in that situation.
Can I just say, I've just seen the De Bruyne's second goal.
Yeah.
Right, and it is a mirror of what happened to the first goal. Yeah. Right, we give the ball away. Players running through, De Bruyne's on his own, got time to shoot. Now, yes, the first goal was a punt upfield, but if you had an extra man in that, if you had a midfielder in that position there, he's not getting that ball. The second goal, when Odegaard gives the ball away because he's trying to get a pass, there would have been a midfielder there. The problem is we're too open as a team in passages of play that allows De Bruyne to run through on a simple pass from Haaland. Simple pass. But see,
everything that we're saying all boils down to one thing. It lands at the manager's door because he hasn't put out the right team with the right personnel in the right formation. Yeah. Right. Like African Gouda said, we all said it. The game was too open. Two banks of 4. Let them break us down. Plug the holes side to side, 5 yards back, 5 yards forward. Yeah, let the front 2 do the running between the defence. Set your 2 banks of 4, even a bank of 4, bank of 3, and have 3 running. But you say Apollo, you can't replace an all 11 defender.
Yes,
you can replace an all 11 defender by getting the right formation and plug in the midfield.
That's exactly
we all agree with that. I mean, Jorginho should have started. That was the problem. So let me just go through because I can see the questions here. Where did we lose the game? So I just want to sort of point that out and have a look at it. Where did we lose the game? We lost the game in the midfield for the reasons that we all just talked about. Jorginho should have started. We should have run a double pivot. Our midfield just got waxed today. They were giving the ball away. They couldn't hold possession. City were all over them, and we never recovered. We didn't at halftime. We had a 0.00 xG. We weren't even close. We didn't register our first shot until an hour. And Thomas Partey, he was completely lost, because what happens is when you're playing a world-class team with a double pivot and you're the only guy on there, he had Rodri in front of him, and his job is also to track De Bruyne. And De Bruyne was just all over him. Like he lost him so many times. De Bruyne had lost him, and Partey was just just misaligned with the lanes and everything. He was lost. He was completely lost. Xhaka really should have dropped back in the midfield to help him, but that's no consolation. We know Xhaka doesn't play well in the midfield. The reason why they moved him out to the 8 was so they can get him out of harm's way. And so he couldn't help with the pivot. He was nowhere. The thing is, City has the quickest moving pivots in the Premier League. So when you take someone who's athletically challenged like Xhaka, that's a mismatch. On to Odegaard. Odegaard, when the way how this team is set up is that Zinchenko is the prime influencer. He's the guy that dictates the flow of the game. When teams tie him up, like quality teams have done, then you go to your plan B in Odegaard. And what I found that we've struggled with lately is go into that plan B. We seem to want to keep going back to Zinchenko when the well is dry. And when the well is dry, you go to another well. And that's the problem that we've had over the last few games. But then Odegaard, when he did have the ball, was giving the ball away in possession as well. So the midfield as a whole wasn't working. And it was almost like there was a silly stat that showed we had 64% of possession and City only had like 32% or something like that. But we did nothing with it. And as Vinci pointed out, all that possession was our defenders. We did nothing with the ball. But the midfield is where we lost the game. Bertrand says, I need glasses. No, I've already got glasses, Bertrand. Thank you very much. And then he's bashing on Holding as well. Everybody was out of position, not just Holding. This is from...
Yeah, but Apollo, your defender
Liz.
is like the most important part, right? If everyone else is out of position, okay, but the last line of defense is your defense. And if your defense is out of position, then it just leaves big holes, right? And that's why I think Ben White struggled as well, because he just had to cover for Holding so much. And Grealish is a good player as well, right? I mean, you have to give it to him.
So that's a reactive response, because the original response I made was that the midfield was the one that was out of position. Partey got pulled every which way possible. And when there's no midfield, guess what? Guess who feels the brunt of that? The defense.
Yeah, the defense.
Yeah. So Liz says, right now we're all hurting and we're vexed. Total control and Leeds lost, but bring positive energy and force the ball to spend on building defensive players. We need a defensive midfielder to support the backups, and the bench was not. Yeah, and this again, isn't it? I just want to point something out again that we might be missing here. Isn't it frustrating to know that we've gone through a season with Partey being injured, Zinchenko missed 2 months, Smith Rowe missed 4 months, Jesus missed three months, Tomiyasu's missed, and Tomiyasu, how invaluable would he have been in this run-in as a centre back, as a right back, being able to could have put Ben White back in the middle and moved Tomiyasu to the right, or put Tomiyasu centre back. How invaluable would have all that been?
Right now.
But the fact of the matter is, we've had all these injuries, guys, and what injuries has Man City had? Like none. They've had no major. They've had guys that have missed 1 or 2 games because they weren't feeling well. Haaland missed 1 game 3 weeks ago because he wasn't well. But they've had their team absolutely clicking on all cylinders all the way through the season. And that's the kind of thing that we're up against. We were always up against that.
Yeah, but Apollo, City got the squad for what they wanted to go for this season. Yeah. I can't have that. Arteta's he trimmed the squad to how he wanted this. We played with this is Arteta's squad. Yeah. With 5 games towards the end of the season, Arteta has built this squad this season. Yeah. I'm going back to it. He's gone out and bought players in January. He bought those players. Okay. Yeah. We can't compare our squad to City.
Yeah, agreed.
He's decided to get the players he's got, playing them the way we played. So if we've got injuries, and if he hasn't got adequate replacements, whose fault is it? You can't blame City. City's dealing with what they've got to deal with. Yeah, I want Arteta, just like how he came and he managed in the first 6 months and he got us the FA Cup. I always remember, I keep on saying to it, go back to that. Yeah. Go back to that. Yeah. He hasn't gone back to that. He's doing it a different way. Yeah. You got Trossard. You got Jorginho. 5 games. Trossard's on the bench. Jorginho could have played midfield.
100%.
Out. He didn't do it. I don't want to hear Arsenal fans talking about our squad comparing to Man City. He puts the players out. He gets the players in. Manage the team.
And you know the thing about that, which we talked about half an hour ago, is how frustrating is it to have a good January summer transfer? You get a guy like Trossard, 8 assists in his last 8 starts. He's actually got 10 goals in the Premier League for Brighton and Arsenal, and he's not even anywhere to be seen in the starting lineup in the last 5 games. And Jorginho, who in my opinion has never had a bad game in an Arsenal shirt. He's been consistent. He's been free flowing.
Like 3 games, so.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So the point that we're making, why isn't he playing them?
Yeah, I agree. The funniest part for me is bringing on Smith Rowe today when you're 3-0 down. like that is just so embarrassing. I think for Smith Rowe, I think that's so disrespectful. Honestly, you don't bring him on in any of the games, and we're 3-0 down, and now you decide to bring him on. I just laughed when I saw it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
Vincey mentioned something like that, and I just said to Vincey, that's where you're throwing a Hail Mary. That's where you're throwing everything in the kitchen sink. You've run out of ideas, so it's just like he was bringing on strikers with abandon. It's like how are you bringing all these guys on when the midfield is the problem? You can bring on like Jesus hardly had a touch. Martinelli hardly, Saka, they hardly had a touch in the first half. What do you think these guys? I mean, actually, I thought some of them played really well. I thought Nketiah made some really good runs. Nelson was darting through the midfield and creating stuff, but that wasn't happening with us in the first half. But these are players that should receive more playing time. They should and to an extent. Maybe not Nelson, but Trossard certainly has played his way into starting for this team.
I'm just going to say this. Martin Keown has just talked to the point that African Gunners talked about right now on BT Sports about holding and defensively in those goals. And that sequence, if you watch it, it's painful. It's painful to watch those goals.
Even the 4th goal ricochets off his shin and then they score. Even if it's not his fault, he just was involved in everything. And by the way, guys, I'm done. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. I've taken off from work tomorrow, so I'm just gonna sleep this off. I'm just really heartbroken. But just so you guys know, that second goal was offside, and they're talking about it. And I've seen some reports saying that they're gonna issue another apology. It's just disgusting.
What's that? Because Vince, you said it was Ben White's toe or something like that. Let me.
No, it's John Stones.
His foot is in line, but his body is offside.
Yeah, he looked.
Yeah, his body's offside. It should have been offside.
Okay,
so
I'm just gonna have a look on Twitter. Let me have a look on Twitter.
On the American broadcast at halftime, they spoke about how it wasn't offside and that there's going to be an apology issued. So keep an eye out for that. It's too late for apologies, but it really feels like we've gotten a lot of decisions against us. Even the kick out on Ben White, if that was Xhaka, that's a red card.
Yeah,
we got lucky. We got lucky with the Thomas Partey one though, because it should have been a second yellow. He should have been sent off at the end. But look, I think, just really disappointed. We just had to score the first goal. As soon as this won, I knew when holding started, I knew it was over. But also when they scored in the first 10 minutes, it was done.
Yeah, as I said, I predicted it was going to be 3-1.
De Bruyne is like Drogba, man. He loves to score against Arsenal. This guy just can't stop scoring.
Great finishing, though, isn't it?
Right, guys, let's have a look at this.
Yeah, his body's
they say his feet. So they're going to say, I think someone when it was live, I think it was Gary, said that, is it Ben White's feet was keeping him on side? But look at his arm.
Yeah, his body's offside, but his leg is in line. But the fact is that he has an edge because his body is ahead of the defender. It's offside.
Yeah.
It's offside.
I was surprised it was given, but
yeah, so was John Stones, to be honest. So
yeah.
Yeah, did you see him celebrate it just before
Yeah.
half time?
Yeah.
Well,
And
what do
right,
you
just
do?
before
2-0 up.
halftime, if we
Game
go
done,
in
innit?
1-0, the game
Yeah.
could have been different. We probably still lost, to be honest, but like it could have been different, you know, it
Yeah.
really could have. So that's a bummer for me. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. We'll keep in touch, and yeah, I'm going to bed.
All right, guys, listen, that's it from us tonight. That's it, guys. Following tonight's 4-1 win against Arsenal, Manchester City now have a 92% chance of winning. I mean, for me, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
But Arsenal have to finish the season strongly now. You don't want to go to Newcastle and get beaten. You don't want to get beaten by Chelsea. You don't want this thing to capitulate. But listen, I just got to say congratulations to City. They've by far been the best team this season. I can't wait to see their game against Real Madrid. If they get past that, then the treble could be on for them now. But this is now, is it 12 or 13 games
12.
consistently? 12. It's a 12
and we've only
game
scored
now.
like four goals against them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. It's over. It's done. The dream is over. But there's still a lot to play for. And who knows, guys? City could lose the next 2 games. It's happened before.
No, come on. Let's be
hey, I've seen these things I've seen these things
we're finishing
happen,
second.
Man.
There's nothing to play for, really, honestly. I don't think City loses any of their games. They're going to have way too much momentum. I think we might even crash and burn. But I still think we'll finish second. And it'll still be a good season, you know, considering what we hope to achieve this season. And that's Champions League. I think so. We actually officially made Champions League because I think Brighton got the result that we needed. So that's the one positive.
So hold on, before you do that, let me just have a look. So Arsenal have played 33 and have 75 points. Newcastle's played 31 and has 59 points. So we have 16 points lead over Newcastle, but the Newcastle's have got 2 games in hand. Yeah,
so
I mean,
I've always said all season, you put a performance in, gives you the opportunity to get the result. You don't put a performance in, it is what it is. So
we need a win. That's what we need. We need to win.
Yeah, Newcastle, Chelsea, they're not going to be easy games. And I think we've got Brighton, have we? We still got to face Brighton?
Yeah, so we've got Chelsea next Tuesday.
Brighton,
they're not given
next Tuesday.
Yeah, they're not givens. Got to put a performance in now. You know, we've had some bad results. You know, you got to just be professional. 90 minutes, put a performance in.
Yeah. So listen, that's it from us, guys. We did the best we could, guys, and it wasn't good enough to beat this Man City team. You have to be perfect. You have to be exceptional. You have to make the right calls on your team sheet. You have to put in your performances. You can't have any injuries, and unfortunately, none of that went our way this season. So look, but stand out to what these guys have achieved. They are the youngest team in the league, and they'll only get better. This isn't the be all and end all that you've seen of Arsenal. This is just the beginning of the journey. There's more to come from these guys, and the squad will get stronger and stronger. But there's a lot to do. There's a lot of work to do because you got to go out. You got to convince some of your players to stay. I wouldn't want to see Reece Nelson leave. I got to be honest with you. You guys know I've been a Nelson fan from day one. But bring in stronger players and then play them. Yeah, you've already got Jorginho and Trossard and you're not playing them. So there's no point us talking about going out there and getting this player, getting that player, getting Kiviar and all that. If you're not playing these players, then what's the point? And at some point, that part falls on the manager. But the players, their heads are gone. And it went a while ago. And leading up to this game, we've seen how, you know, that has sort of taken the fight out of them. Tonight, it was almost like they had nothing to give. And that's a shame. And realistically, one has to ask the question is, should some of the players in that mindset have started tonight's game? And I don't think that they should have. But that's for another argument for another day. Guys, good night. And let's take this one on the chin, man, and come back. All right? Cheers, guys.
Indeed.
Peace out, man. Peace.